Well, hello there. Happy New Year, or at least it will be in about 2 hours' time. I am speaking to you from London. So Greenwich Mean Time means the new year hasn't officially started for another 2 hours, just under 2 hours. And hopefully we'll be able to have a little bit of a sneak peek when the fireworks start happening. We're just waiting for Val. Few technical difficulties. That's why we are a little bit behind. She's trying desperately to get on, so she will be with us shortly. And so in the meantime, you've got me. You got me. So I want to go over to the comments and see who's with us here tonight. Carlene, I want to wish Carlene from Wicked Women who's spending New Year's Eve in hospital, which is never a good place to spend New Year's Eve. And I want to say, Carlene, we are all thinking of you and sending you lots of love, wishing you were here in that beautiful red top of yours. And may 2024 be just what you're hoping for, and lots of good health as well. Hi, Sandra. How you doing? Sandra's just down the road from me in London. She's actually probably a little bit nearer London than I am. I'm a bit further out. So how's everyone's week been? It is the last week of 2023. It's been a tough week. It's been a tough year, actually. For me, it's been a very, very tough year. And I'm sad to see 2023 go, but I'm also quite keen for it to go as well. It's also a very sad time in the UK because the UK government brought in the XL bully ban. And sadly, a lot of XL bullies lost their life today. And so we remember them, and our heart goes out to all the staff that felt they had no choice but to actually do it, and hope that the government changes their mind. So even though we are here to see in the new year and celebrate it, it's also really, really sad because a lot of innocent dogs lost their lives today and will continue to. Now there is a ban up. Hi, Steph. Says healing intentions for you, Carlene. Absolutely. We're sending lots of good healing vibes to you. I like to see my girls here because that's what Wicked Women's all about. And, you know, it's new. It is very sad. It's horrific. Basically, there was a spate of XL bully attacks, and unfortunately, a lot of people have the breed and they make a lot of money out of it. They're not registered breeders, and they also don't have them correctly trained or on leads or harnesses. And there's been some attacks. Unfortunately, the UK government went exactly the same way they did with pit bulls some years ago, which was banned them, and now they've banned the bully. And we were hoping they would take the Calgary's way of doing it, which was a lot. You know, they've stopped all their attacks, and it's, you know, if you Google Calgary's dog licensing and everything, it's so much more easier. But the UK decided to ban them. So unless you applied for an exemption and you had them spayed, neutered, on a muzzle, sadly, and you know, they've lost a lot of freedom. So it's really, really, really sad. Absolutely, I agree with you that they should bring in more laws to change things so that this never happens again. Unfortunately, I think it probably will. And who are they going to go for next? The Bull Mastiffs, Cane Corso, like where will they go next for them? So, you know, we are thinking of all the poor dogs that have lost their life in the last couple of days. And sadly, if they get kicked out on the street, probably will. Thankfully, there are some wonderful rescues. Carla Lane And there was a few others that have actually said, no, we're going to like keep our bullies and we're going to make them exemptions, so they will now live at the rescues until hopefully the law is changed. There was a challenge against this law, and the UK government had a challenge against it, and they tried to stop the injunction, but they failed. But what they didn't fail at was to bring in a review of the whole thing. So that is coming late January, but unfortunately it's not enough to stop what happened today. So that's why in the credits you actually saw the picture of the bully with the halo. So it's very, very sad. It's also been a really tough year. Like everybody I know has gone through a lot of illness, a lot of stresses, a lot of ups and downs. And I think that some of us will be absolutely pleased to see the back. Hi, Keith. Come on if you can. Just some of us will be pleased to see the back of it. For me, it's a really hard year to let go because of Henry. I lost my beloved Henry in October. This would be 2023 will be the last year that I had with him. And I'm so sad. This will be the last year I have and had with him. So for me, it's kind of a double-edged sword. So I'm just looking down and seeing who we've got here with us. I have Val desperately telling me she's trying to get on, but I have Mr. Wicked with me, although tonight he's calling himself Sir Wicked. You know, we have I agree with you, Steph. We're all really, really absolutely 100%. So all we can do is hope that this law changes, and there is protests. There is so much behind the scenes, but we've got to do it right, because if we don't do it right, they won't throw it out. And I'm going to bring in Michael, because he actually has a pit bull and an American bulldog, which I think an XL bully is a mixture of them both. And he's coming to join us in quite early, because obviously Val is trying to get in with us. So let's bring Sir Michael in. Hello.
Hello, honey.
How you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm like Steph. I'm a little pissed off that they would put an innocent dog down, because the people is known by how you treat the innocent in your society, and our pets are very innocent.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at it like this: come hell or high water, there's nobody coming to take my dogs. The
Absolutely.
same way they'd fight.
That's how we feel over here.
You know, the same way they'd fight and give their life for me, I'd give it for my two. You know, and if anybody's ever saw them, you know, they're lap dogs. It's not bad breeds; it's bad breeders. And Sandra said it's not the dog's fault. It's not.
It's not.
It's shitty breeders. It's shitty breeders. And you know, you've seen both of these here. You know, I even, you know, and it wasn't that he was a bad dog, but Poseidon went to puppy school to learn to listen. But you know, even before puppy school, he was not chewing nobody's face off. He was not lunging at ankles and crotches and all that other stuff. He just needed to have some more structure. And you know, and if you're gonna have a big dog, it takes money, time, and commitment.
Yeah, it does.
And I tell people, you know, a dog is not a fashion accessory or fashion statement. It don't make you look gangster. It don't make you look badass. If you cannot do it on your own, what's some poor helpless dog going to be in it? You know what I'm saying? That's what I told them. These two here are lap dogs, and you know, like I said, they're always with me. And like I said, if they come for my dogs,
there's so much
they better
money
bring a lot of help.
There's so much money in puppy farms and breeding. And you know, the thing is, Michael, you know, you have a pit bull and you have an American bulldog, and we don't have pit bulls anymore in the UK. No. We have crosses still here, but we don't have them. And American bulldog is still here. These XL bullies that were so big, I mean, they're enormous. And if you get pinned down by one of them, it's not like you can fight perhaps a Chihuahua. They are enormous. So,
both of these here are around 80 pounds. And and I woke up the other day and I thought my legs was crippled because they was numb from just the weight. But, you know, I was having a bad night. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, you know, on the farm that I took over when my dad passed. And they could tell that I was whatever. And they're like my well, 80s, 160-pound weighted blanket. They are my security blanket at night. And when I woke up, I had to take James to work, and I'm like, I had to drive right-footed because I cannot feel my left knee. Everything below the knee.
And I think, you've brought up your dog. You brought up your dogs right. Let's be honest, Michael. You've brought up your dogs right. You went to puppy school, but so many people over here, they use them as a fashion accessory, or they use them as
they're not a fashion accessory.
And these poor dogs are like breeding mules. So I do think that needs to be regulated because it's going to happen to another breed.
And like I said, a lot of people, I tell them the persona they see here is not what it is behind the camera. And you've had the privilege to see me behind the camera or away from the camera. Oh, there's poor Carlene, bless her heart. But a lot of people don't, they don't see the pit bull like that.
No.
Well, or like that. You know what I'm saying? That dog loves me. And there's Poseidon, just ready. He was ready to go to puppy school, and
he's a beautiful. I'm trying to bring Val in, but it just won't come in.
No, and when they say vicious, that's the calico cat that sleeps beside the pit bull.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I said, you get to see behind what a lot of people don't get to see, and they are. I'm not saying that they would not have a turn
unfortunately what's happened this week though, Michael, is that some people, not all, but some people have been throwing their dogs out onto the street, tying them up, leaving them. And what's happened is Northern Ireland, God bless you, Scotland, God bless you, has actually turned around and said, no, we're not following this law. We are going to save these dogs. We're not going to go onto the ban. And so a lot of dogs have gone up to, I know Battersea Dogs Home sent theirs to Scotland and Northern Ireland. And thank God for them. Here she is. I think she's here. Good. There she is.
There's Val.
I don't know how it is because I had to use my tablet to get on.
Yeah.
It's coming and going, but you're with us. We're
you and Sandra both can contest to this. I'm very fond of the British people. You know what I'm saying? The whole country as a whole. But I'm thinking might need the William Wallace approach. They'll never say and I hate to be that way, but when you're going to put innocent dogs down, you need more than just throwing tea in the harbor. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to bring in for the other Mr. Wicked with us. Let's bring in the lovely Keith. Hello.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Where are you going? What you doing?
We just left my niece's house for makeup Christmas because it got canceled due to the weather, and we are heading home.
I see. Have you got the dog with you?
No, she's at home. She stayed home today.
Were you listening to what we were talking about with the XL bullies?
I was.
What is your? Have you been reading about it?
But all I know is about what you've been telling me. But I don't like the situation. It's, in my opinion, it's not the breed; it's how that dog is raised.
Absolutely.
You can raise. I've got a Chow Chow. No insurance company will give me a liability insurance policy on my home or my property because I own a Chow Chow.
Wow.
They're on that list. Freya will lick you to death, but she'll bark at you when you come inside. But 15 minutes later, she's your buddy. It's how that dog is raised. You can take a Chihuahua or a Poodle or what have you and raise it to be an attack dog. It's all in the training.
I agree with you, and the thing is as well, like the UK has so many different breeds here, and what will happen is, Keith, they will just go and find another big dog, and they will just. There was a particular dog called Cookie. She was a female bully, and she was actually found near me near me, and they took her to the vets, and the vet said, we're not going to put her down. She was in a really, really bad way. She'd been used as a breeding mare, and she was, almost like thin, very, very, it was just awful. And they actually got her to Scotland. And what they did, everyone did it in relay. There have been people, and they've been doing it. I believe they're still doing it at the moment. They're taking relays of you doing half the journey, then I'm doing the rest of the journey, to get them to Scotland, where these poor dogs are safe. Now, the thing is, a lot of these dogs can't be with cats or young children, and especially if they've not been brought up with them. You can't just bring one of that breed into the family and go, well, it'll be fine, because there's no training, there's nothing. So now Scotland has a lot more XL bullies, and England still has them. If you had a choice, you paid £90, you got on an exemption, and your dog is exempted. They know what dog it is, where you've got it. It's got to be on a muzzle. You've got to get liability insurance from Dogs Trust, which I think is £25. And I think it was Pet Plan that still gave you dog insurance up until the 31st of December. But for me, Keith and Val and Michael, and I'll open it up to you guys in a minute, what got me about it, it's New Year's Eve. It's like just after Christmas. How the worst time of the year, time of the giving, Val, you can imagine, these poor animals are going to die at the most important time of the year. What's your take on it, Val, from what you've learned?
Well, I definitely think that they could have picked a better time. And it doesn't seem like they took a whole lot of time discussing it. I mean, it seems like someone just decided that that's what they were going to do, and that's what they did. It doesn't seem like it was, talked about very much.
And people across the world are watching the United Kingdom. We have quite a good record in a lot of ways for loving our animals, dogs, cats, etc. We have a lot of good records. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I've been watching TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and everything like that. And it's showing us people going, tonight we're raising a candle, not raising hell, not going out partying, for all the animals that have lost their life. Because basically, can you imagine how these veterinary staffs, they've had to go in, get this poor animal who thinks, oh, hi, I'm going for a walk, or I'm going to have something to eat, and they've got to get his paw to sedate it and then put it down. And I went through that a couple of months ago watching Henry go, and it's the most terrible feeling. So I'm very angry with my government, and from it, from country, I'm almost ashamed of my country. I don't know how Sandra feels about it, because she's my fellow Brit on here, but I would imagine she probably feels exactly the same. Absolutely let down by the UK government and ashamed right now of my country.
Well, as hard as it is for an owner to have to go through that, I mean, I know it's not as hard for the people that do it, that have to do it, all the time. But for them to have to put down perfectly healthy animal, that would have to be, just one of the worst things. I mean, way worse than having to put down one that was sick.
I'm sorry to see that, Sandra. I really hope that's not the case. I feel what gets me the most is that they're actually paying people to give up their dog. So they pay them, like, I think it's £200 to give your dog up, and then they'll pay the vet money to euthanize them. It's so sad. So sad. So tonight is a very bittersweet in the United Kingdom. Richie Sunak, who is our Prime Minister, who was never voted in by the British public. He's the third Conservative British Prime Minister we've had, after Boris Johnson and Liz Truss got, kicked out. And normally I never do politics, but this is one thing that's really got my goat up, because it's like, Christmas, really? New Year, really? You couldn't review it better? You couldn't do a better review of it? Actually pick a different time of year? You couldn't give it a year to 8 months and go, there are children out there going, because apparently not the council, not the
Yeah.
local housing authority, but if you're in some rented accommodation or other housing authority, they give you the choice: give your dog up or lose your home. These people have had to
What
give
about
their
your
animals.
brick?
It's awful, absolutely
You
awful.
know,
I mean, it's hard
oh
enough to give them up when they're sick. You know what I mean? To lose them when they're sick, and there's
Really
no other
hard.
choice.
Yeah.
you
But
know,
to
I
tell
read what
somebody
Steph
do
did,
this or lose your home, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Go ahead,
you know.
Michael.
All right.
I was going to say, you know, I know that Wicked Women is pretty much politic free most of the time, but you know, with this being on New Year's, piss poor planning, piss poor timing, piss poor execution. But then, and Ken will probably agree with this: when you give up your guns to fight back and you become an unarmed society, you know, they can come in and say, "Hey, we don't like Spot no more. Spot has to go." And if somebody comes to darken my door to take my dog, they're not going to be the only one put down. And everybody says, "Oh, you can't treat them like family." The fuck I can't. You know, these
Keith,
things.
let's be honest, Keith, if anyone had come for Henry, not that he was a breed, but if anyone had come for him, I'd have gone nuts. I suppose you would have been the same, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Keith was talking about his chow. I had a chow one time. Chow.
Tell me
I
about
had
your chow. Why is your chow so not seen as safe? Why is that?
Reputation. A lot of chows were used in dog fighting. They are used as attack dogs, guard dogs, and people are just generally afraid of them from the hype that's put out by people that simply don't like the breed.
Like I said, the chow I had, Sassy was a very loving dog. She was like a big old orange fluffy pillow.
Well,
She sits up. Yeah. You know, I remember everybody hated her because of, like you said, the reputation, the black tongue. And I've always had like bigger dogs, and I've had wiener dogs, and I've had more people bit by my wiener dog. My pits has never went on an effect on nobody, but my dash hounds. Oh, what that? Oh, okay, or something another. I don't know what that was, but I seen what Steph said about the Vectex. Where their feelings, you know. We had a pit that got snake bit, and when they tried to save her, I was holding her paw when she passed, and the ladies in the vet office was crying with me because Oreo was a good dog, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people, you know, once they unarm a society, they can come in and tell you, hey, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or you can't own this, or we can just come in and take it at any given time. And I said, no, not on my watch. It's like I told JP the other day, get your bump helmet and your plate carrier. We got dogs to rescue. Because at the end of the day, you know,
just going to welcome Jason in. Hello, Jason.
How you treat your unarmed.
Hey, how's it going?
Well,
Sorry to be late for the program.
A little chat earlier on, and poor Jason he was blushing. But it's nice to have you boys with us, and to have the lovely Val. Val, may I say, you look amazing. You look amazing, both.
Right back at you, sister.
You're doing the red today. You're completely rocking the red.
I am. I didn't have any silver or gold.
And look at those cleavages. Like, I'm in the silver and she's in the red. And it's like completely rocking it. Wow.
Michael has already warned me that we may have something popping out later. So
I had technical
wardrobe malfunction.
So I'm trying to keep watch.
Michael messaged me and he was like, "Don't."
Yeah, when we were trying to
get. I was listening in as I was trying to come back from my errand. I kept trying to sign in, but apparently cell service here has been atrocious for some reason. I had a thought, and I know as soon as I start with this, there's probably going to be some ruffled feathers.
Here we go.
But hear me out. Wait till the end, right? I think this is a perfect example of what you guys are going through in the UK, Wendy. This is why it is so absolutely critical that when there are problems, people get involved, and people get involved in the right kind of way and with the right kind of voice. The unfortunate part of the situation is even if there are people speaking up, it's not speaking up loud enough, or it's not speaking up in the right way. And your parliament is not listening, and that's a whole other thing in itself. But this is why it's critical that people be involved in government, in their lives. As annoying as it may be, as full of drama and BS as it may be, making sure that a voice is had by the people is critical. If you're going to be a self-governed society and not an autocratic society, you have to be involved. And people today, and it seems kind of in some ways a global thing. Sometimes it seems like it's just around this joint, but people are not involved. People can't be bothered. People have better things to do. And unfortunately also, you guys, in trying to fight against this particular situation, have been eclipsed by things that I know how passionate you guys are about this topic, and I know how important this topic is to you at the individual and at the smaller community level. But you guys have kind of become victim of what's going on in the world.
Absolutely.
There are things that, and here's where it starts to rub the wrong way, and forgive me. There are things going on in the world today, and it's unfortunate that they're going on, that are vastly more important in terms of the safety and security of the entirety of society, that deserve 110% of the politicians' attention, and not something like dog breeds. And it's horrible for you guys, and it's horrible for the dogs, that it's like the universe conspiring against you guys almost. It's not fair that it's going on. So when you have things like that going on in the world, it becomes even more critical that we're involved, that we make sure that our voice is heard, so that it's not only one or two critical topics that are getting all the attention, and what would be considered on the global scale, the smaller topics, don't get glossed over. That's one of those big things. Politics are annoying. I hate them. I hate them as much as the next guy, but I also see what happens when you're not involved.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's a very good point. And we aren't political on Wicked Women. We try not to be political. We try because obviously, but it's a subject that very much, and I think it's New Year's Eve, because New Year's Eve, as Val would probably testify with me, is the fact that it's a time of, endings and beginnings, and saying goodbye and hellos. And for me, Val, I was saying it's a very difficult, because it's the last year I spent with Henry, and it's the last year I'll ever spend with him. And so I'm kind of sad to see, although I've had the most horrific year. I mean, from literally my mum falling down the stairs, from me being sick to having an operation, to Henry being really sick, and then to lose him. It has been a really shitty year. So from that point of view, but there's been some wonderful things and I want to hear yours next, but there's been some amazing things. I've met some amazing new people have come into my life. I have, been surrounded by good friends that have had my back and supported me, and you're one of them, Val. You've been so supportive to me this year, quietly supportive, very much so, and literally was there for me in some of my darkest times. And us women need to stick together, and we might be thousands of miles apart from one another, but we're there for one another. And I think that I've learned a lot this year that sometimes friendship comes in the most strangest of ways, and Michael is another one who came into my life a year ago and literally has been there for me through so many dark times. But I think from a woman point of view, from girl to girl, to have a good friend that's across the miles, or I have my Canadian bestie is thousands of miles. My English bestie is not near me at all. So we're kind of like juggling the time we spend together. What for you, Val, when you look back at this year, has been some of your highlights and downs and ups?
Well, everybody, of course, everybody knows, and he's all of our friends, but we're, Ken kind of started off the year, but then it's kind of been a roller coaster because, he got sick, then of course he healed, he got better, then, Mom found out she had breast cancer, had her mastectomy, and she starts her radiation Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have to take chemo, but she does have to take radiation. So, there was another up and down. I haven't been felt the best this year. It's probably been one of my worst years, health-wise. And then, of course, I had to take Cheetah just a week or so ago, because she was my daughter's cat, but we had her for 13 years, and she got skin cancer on her face, and she had one operation, and it came right back with a vengeance. So there wasn't anything we could do but that. So over Christmas, I'm the only one that didn't have COVID.
You were the only one standing in the end because everybody had COVID.
Yeah, my mom, my aunt, which lived together, they both had COVID. Both of my daughters had COVID. So we had to wait till yesterday to have our Christmas, which, that's not a big deal. It didn't bother me as far as that. It just, worry. My aunt's 95, my mom's 80.
And it's a worry. And because we started Wicked Women this year with every intention of doing it every Sunday. And then what happened was that we got sick, and then we, Carly was part of the team, and Michelle and Caitlin, and Caitlin still is, but obviously, like, they've got their own agendas with other stuff going on. But we were always the foundation, the founding members of Wicked Women, right, and have remained to be. But it got to a point where I was sick, so I couldn't do the show. And then you were sick and you couldn't do the show. And I was like, oh my God, the male Wickeds are going to have to take over for us. And,
well, thank goodness that we have backup.
And Keith, I'm going to bring Keith in here a second, because Keith was so amazing. He filled in for your good self on quite a few ones, and Keith, we did an amazing job together, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Yes, we did. Thank you very much for that opportunity.
Well, I'm sure we'll do it again. But Keith, you're very grounding. And it's like you have a very spiritual an intake of looking in on this, and so it's like for you, and I will come to Michael and Jason as well. But for you, what was your highlights of this year, and what's been your downtime? Because we're in Mercury retrograde, we're almost out of it, aren't we?
Yes, we are. not too much longer, than we got the 2-week shadow period where we get to look at what Mercury showed us.
Can't wait for it to
Brought
go.
back up for us to look at. Over the year, I don't know. There's been so much that's happened. It's kind of hard to pick out individual items. I mean, I've been through about everything at one time or another this year. It's kind of 2020, 21, and 22 all wrapped into one year. And I'm glad to see 23, you know, the cat knock it off the shelf and hit the floor. I'm ready for 2020. Let's hope we get some better energies coming in. And I know the astrology in 2024 there's some big stuff happening. There's going to be a lot of information coming out that's not supposed to come out, so that'll be interesting to see. You know, including governmental. The one thing I was going to add earlier is, you know, the timing of the dog issue. Who's to say they didn't plan that timing to keep everybody at each other, divided with each other, and lower vibration.
Yeah.
So they can do over here without anybody noticing. Look what we're doing here, while we do this over here. You know, so that's always something to think about.
I feel like that using that particular thing as the thing that you're trying to screen with the other stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of on that particular topic, that might be kind of a small stretch.
I'm interested in what Steph's just put up. We've got major shit happening in April. I have heard that. What is going on? What is going on in April? Keith, what is going on in April?
I would have to look at my notes. Me and Joni are going to talk about some of the things on our next Daughter's Den show. We go through the astrology, how it affects us and stuff. Steph may be able to type some stuff out quick. She probably has a better idea than what I do. Joni's the astrologer. I just kind of add in and add to, you know, what she's saying. Kind of add in the spirituality factor, and, you know, use some of my experience to help explain, you know, what this, you know, trine's going to do, what this square is going to do, how it's going to affect us. So.
I mean, we've had so much crap the last couple of years. Can it get any worse? I'm going to bring Michael in. Michael, what was one of your highlights and up and downs of this year?
Well, my year started off good. That's when I met Wendy, and you know, you and talking about you in third person while you're. It's kind of, but no, you know, there's a lot of people that I met. You know, I never once thought about doing this live full time again, because, you know, we did Spotify, but the more I did it, the more I like it. You know, it might be a small voice, like JP said, but, you know, it counts to get your voice out there, and this gives me a platform to get my voice out. You know, and I met another brother this year, you know, Jason there, you know what I'm saying? Same background. And I can talk to him for hours. I probably talk him to his ears hurt, but you know what I'm saying? But I don't get that with a lot of people I interact with, because, you know, you just got to get it out. And that's been so grateful, you know, to have another set of ears that you can, you know, vent to, because if you keep it all bottled up, because you're talking about the energy and the vibrations and stuff like that. If you bring all of that in, you know, it just consumes you within. And, you know, we lost my dad this year. And with that it come with responsibility from the family farm. You know, I took over a third of my grandmother's farm, and I took over the whole lease for the other farm, which, you know, on one hand, I'm glad for, because boys like to hunt. And it also pisses my dickheaded uncle off because he didn't get it. You know, I thought about this earlier today when I was taking a shower right after I talked to you. You know, my New Year's thing is everybody's like, I want to leave this behind or that behind. I want to start being a whole hell of a lot more petty when these people really deserve it. I'm just not going to let it slide anymore. I'm just going to, you know, score star type deal with them. You know, I have played with kids way too much with them. And do I need a farm down there with whatever? No. But I want it because he wants it, and piss on him because he's a shitbag.
I want to bring this sorry, just to interrupt what Steph was saying,
Oh.
because I do feel there's a definite thing. They still want to keep us apart. They still don't want us to come together as much, Val, because if you notice it, like, you know, even if people wanted to bring their family to the UK, if I was going to immigrate to Canada, if you're in this scenario, it's like they've put more money, more conditions. It's definitely like it's making it harder to come to bring your family to a country. It's getting harder to, you know, I mean, yes, the flights have gone down, they're cheaper. There definitely is this feeling, isn't there, Val, of like them keeping us apart still.
Oh, sure. And I think that's their whole point. I think their whole point is to divide anyone that they can possibly divide. Because what is it? You know, when you divide people, they're easier to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
So when, you know, if they keep us from doing anything or getting together in any matter whatsoever, you know, we're easier to control if we're not, you know, one voice.
I think I'd like Steph to do our birth charts, actually, because it'd be quite interesting to see what the year's got for me, because it's my birthday in January, which is coming up very, very soon. And so I'm Steph. If you want to do my birth chart and Val's, we'd like to. That would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is this? We must have a pilot on the show. We can rent a plane. Absolutely. That would be cool, wouldn't it? To pick us all up. That would be fantastic. Jason, for you, what's been your ups and downs this year?
Well, I don't know. That might be a tough one to pin down in terms of the downs. In terms of the ups, I mean, I got offered this position at Scott. So that's huge, which means I will no longer have to freeze every winter, you know, which is amazing in of itself.
Yeah.
I don't know that, you know, this year has actually been pretty positive in general. It is even for, you know, some of the frustrations which really occurred the previous year and kind of carried over. I can't complain too much. 2023 has been an okay year for me. Has it been the absolute best? No. You know, work stresses and things like that, but it's really been more of a situation where it's been, you know, same old, or just the usual, you know, and it sounds goofy, but it, you know, something my dad's always said to me is that, you know, hey, sometimes the usual ain't bad.
Yeah.
Well, 2024 is an 8 year, which Keith will know a bit about, and it's also obviously the dragon year, isn't it? It's going in to be the year of the dragon. Is that right, Keith?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. It's fire cleanses. You know, it can be destructive, but it can also cleanse.
Yeah, because obviously the element is fire.
Wildfires hit. Yeah, it takes all the old growth weeds and what's not supposed to be there, burns it off, so the natural vegetation can go back into place the way it's supposed to be. You know, eight's infinity. Turn sideways when you get the infinity sign. Just keep going. Whatever you're going through, just keep going. You know, everything you've gotten through so far to get to today, you've gotten through. Tomorrow ain't nothing.
I thought this year was going to be easier, and I'll come to Michael in a minute because I know he's got a point, but it's like this is a 7 year, and my birth number is 7, and I actually thought it was going to be an easier year, but it was awful.
But that's one of those things, though, in much the way that fire, and you know, going back to what Keith was saying, fire cleanses. unless you're California and you don't understand these things, you don't properly manage your land. But you know, fire occurs naturally to clear out all of the dense undergrowth to allow,
Yeah.
you know, the other natural things to spring up, and you start the cycle over again. Trying times, you know, it's kind of a cliche at this point, but you know, hard times make hard men make good times make weak men make hard times, right? So you do have a cyclical aspect to that, but it's those trials and tribulations, right, that you have gone through. It's like heat treating metal, right? When you're forging something, you sit there and you heat it, you get it hot enough to where it's malleable, but you've got to get it to a point to where it's not changing the grain structure so much that you lose structural integrity, and then you quench it. And that's all part of the heat treating process, right? You go through this fire, and then you're quenched. In the quenching process, all of the particles within the metal align as they cool, and if you've done it right, it comes out stronger on the end, on the other side of it. And so, really look more like instead of thinking about how hard it's been, think of maybe in terms of how this is like you're going through the crucible so that you can be hardened and tempered on the other side of it, which will make you stronger and more capable than you were before.
That was very deep, Jason. Thank you.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I throw out a humdinger of a nugget.
But the thing is, we don't need it all in 1 year.
No.
Maybe
Spread it out.
we do. Maybe we do.
Yeah. No, we don't. I've had
hate,
since 2019. I've had enough.
I hate to say this, but you know, on a personal level, yeah, we can be sick of it. We're good, but there's something on the other end that, you know what? Maybe we need to be hard.
Yeah.
Look at, if you want to talk, so there's a whole thing on, I forget who came up with it. I've seen videos on it. I've read things on it, and you guys probably way more familiar with it than I am. 80-year cycles. Right? Everything being cyclical. Everything looks like it goes into these 80-year cycles. And so if you look at, like, you know, World War II, and the end of that was kind of the beginning of a new 80-year cycle, right? World War II, the most destructive war that the world has seen, you know, ever at this point. And you've gone through this crucible, but you had to be hard to get through it, right? So look at the Great Depression. Look at all of the stressors. Look at all of the famine, the horrible things that people went through that made them, that forged them and tempered them to be able to go through the crucible of a global conflict, right? You know, you have people who learned how to be resourceful, who learned how to figure things out. They'd already been learning how to work with their hands, you know, for ages and generations before that. But, you know, it becomes even more refined. And then you get thrust into the Second World War, and you have people who are, because of the hardships they've been through, can sit there and hang out in the mud and the muck for 4 years because they enlisted at the beginning of it, and it was, you know, your term of enlistment is 4 years or duration, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't you're doing a 3-year hitch and then you're done later, here's your VA stuff. No, you signed up for 4 years or the duration. And
all or nothing.
So these people, our greatest generation, had been forged and tempered to be able to withstand this. So maybe we're going through a whole bunch of crap right now. So those of us who actually allow it to change us and mold us and shape us and temper us will make it out on the other side.
Yeah.
And You know, that's it sounds very doom and gloom, and I hate that. Like, I don't want to be like the negative Nancy in the room about it, but it's like
No.
you've got to look at it.
I mean, no, Jason, I appreciate you sharing it because you've got a very good point there. And I know I'm always cheeky, but Michael, please go ahead.
I understand where Jason's coming from, because it is surprising what you can get used to as being normal. You know, you can get used to living in the muck, the shit in the sand, camel spiders, mortars every night, and that's your normal life. You know what I'm saying? That's how you exist. And I was thinking, I wrote down here, you know, and if you get used to them putting your best down or whatever, you know, and I always thought the UK was very, very progressive. You know what I'm saying? They was one of the first countries that got rid of the death penalty. But yet they turn around and want to put all these dogs down. It's almost like they're going backwards. They're de-evolving. And that goes back to what, you know, Jason said, you know, it goes in cycles, you know, like they have progressed so much. Now they're going backwards. And it's really, really heartbreaking, because at one time the sun never set on the British Empire. They colonized, you know, every little place on the, you know, in the globe had a Union Jack on it, because they're like, hey, we like this. Ours now.
No, we tend to bend over and take it. And as I said, we don't normally do political on Wicked Women. We try and keep it full of fun and excitement and stuff like that. Yeah. And we, you know, we have got an interesting few topics coming up, because people have asked Scotty and I, and they've also asked Wicked Women to do it. And it's like, one topic that I know we will be talking about in the new year, to give people a bit of a hint, is witchcraft and white magic and witches, because we were going to do it for Halloween, but we were all sick. We couldn't do it. So it's going to have to come. It's going to have to be in the new year. We're going to do the whole witchcraft, white magic, witches, warlocks. You know, we're going to do that. And also, Val, it was also, they wanted us to look at the battery operated boyfriends. Do you remember?
Hey, look, there are battery operated girlfriends at this point too, just so you know.
Oh,
I'm not saying I've purchased one or anything like that, or know from experience, but they're out there, and apparently.
You told on yourself. You told on yourself.
Are you talking about the fleshlight, Jason? Are you talking about that?
That's not battery operated. They have
no,
one.
That's manual.
Yeah, I saw. There's a
oh,
you know, you get the goofiest. You get the goofiest like things popping up in ads and on, you know, whatever, and
but isn't
it is, you know, literally
isn't it fixed to where you get ads on what you've looked up?
So it's literally, this thing is literally called the Auto Blow.
What? I've never heard of this.
They have like they've got what is it, like something like the Auto Blow AI, which basically uses artificial intelligence type algorithms to change things up and do stuff. And then they have this other one, Mega, Ultra, Super, whatever, right, where you can link it with your phone to, you know, somebody else can access it, or you can link it to a website to where it will actually, like, what was it? It said something like, I can't remember if you could go to other pages from there, or if it like something they had compiled, but like it would sync with videos.
Wow.
Like, so it becomes an immersive experience.
What was done some research on this, Jason? I can tell.
Hey, that was all in the article, man. Like, it's like, all right, you know, I could tell you
he reads Playboy for the articles.
Would you want one of those for your birthday or Christmas?
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, Jason. I'm a true battle buddy. If something ever happens to you, I will mount the unicorn. I will get your hard drive. I will take it to the biggest volcano, and we will destroy your search.
That right there, that's brotherhood. That's brotherhood forged in the fires of war. Look, man, I'm not going to make it back today. I just got a feeling. Don't worry. I got your hard drive covered. We're going to melt your PC down. Your
We want to see what-
girlfriend, family, whatever.
Jason, you're getting a bit of a following in the UK, actually, because a couple of the ladies over here that I speak to on a regular basis that watch the show, and there's more than just one. They
Oh, good
actually
God.
you've got a bit of a soft spot for you. Do you know that?
Well, I guess I'm just turning into the world's favorite lovable asshole. I don't know. I don't know why.
See, when we seen that,
It's not that I don't appreciate I'm not flattered. I don't understand it, but okay.
And the hat's not.
You know what it is.
You got the hat on. You haven't got the hat on tonight.
Oh yeah, no, I just got my multicam baseball cap. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like we all dressed up for it, like not just saying.
I had errands that I had to run last minute. I thought I was going to be able to get things squared away, and it turned out I was out of tape because, like I said, I'll be moving to outside of St. Louis, so like, I could be potentially find myself here next week in a situation where I've got 6 weeks to make everything happen, and or it could be longer, depending. It's just you try to prepare the best you can. So I have a bunch of boxes, and I had to go get tape, and I'm like, oh crap, that's not gonna take care of what I've got to do.
How do you feel, Val, about your man having his own battery operated girlfriend? How do you feel about that, Val?
Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I mean,
that's confidence right there. Security.
Yes, she said, hey,
as long as it doesn't come before me.
Oh, it probably will come before you, but anyway.
Well, if it can be shared, like that thing I read was saying where you could actually link somebody to the app on it, you could incorporate it, and it could become a couples thing.
I actually think that's a wonderful thing, don't you, Val? I'm all.
Toys are not anything to be jealous of.
They've been around for thousands of years.
They can add to or take away. It depends on the person, and like you said, the security, the confidence of the people. If I had very low self-esteem and I was jealous of everything, I would be jealous of one. I'm not. So
God, could you imagine that argument? I'm jealous. Yeah. You're jealous of a machine.
Yeah.
But they have been putting this out for years, like the cyborg sex robot. They and like I watched a lot of different podcasts and a lot of different things. And the main complaint of a lot of young women or whatever, or men are leaving the dating field. They don't want to put up with the crap no more. And if they have the whole artificial blowjob, I'll say it, I'm saying? Everybody tiptoes around it. Or the sex or they make the whole thing, and I've seen it. It's like the whole torso.
The fembot with machine gun jubblies.
I'm going to ask Keith here. Keith's obviously listened to the conversation. Keith, what do you think about the battery operated girlfriend?
Well, I've got a young child in here, so I'm not going to go into that too much here. She's sitting in the back seat.
Earbud.
Oops, little ears. Sorry.
Yeah, put your earphones in.
Good. I don't have them with me.
Oh no, you got out on that one. I think it's
79 between 5 and 7 may not be PG.
It's a subject that we will talk about because it was brought up with us. And one other one that I wanted to bring up as well, which we haven't looked at, is what happens when you date someone with compulsive behavior, who is so compulsive. You have to be a certain way. You have to do things a certain way. They are regimental about it, to the point of obsessive, which can change your life. And that's a subject that I think that Val, you and I probably know because we've been in a similar situation with a guy like that, or at least traits of it. So that's something I think that, and also another one they've asked us to look at is age difference between dating a younger man, older woman, a younger woman, older man. So what was the youngest, just briefly, you've ever dated, Val?
He was 11 years younger than me.
Oh.
Cougar, rawr. But
Did
no,
you be happy about
Um, other than the fact that I took second place over video games,
hey,
you know,
That's not for anybody.
yeah, video games, robot girlfriend. The men will be leaving the dating field
it
before
doesn't
long.
work. It really doesn't work, because if you know, the youngest I never dated. I went on a date with a 25-year-old, and that was different. But the youngest I ever dated, I think, was 6 years younger than me. And I don't know how I felt about that. You know, I don't know how I felt about being this cougar, this excuse me, this older woman. I'm really not sure how I felt about that.
yeah.
Especially when they don't know the same sort of music era. I just felt really old in that department.
Well, yeah, that's one thing. But
you know,
when you want a connection and you want, you want a boyfriend, not okay. Let's eat and play video games. I mean, I don't need that. I had 2 kids. I could do that at home, you know.
The youngest, I think the youngest I've ever dated has been 11 years as well. And that was when I first got out here. And she was a good egg, you know, that there was nothing wrong. It wasn't like I was fighting for video games or something like that for attention or anything like that. There were just some very apparent worldview differences because of maturity and life experience that, you know, became very difficult to relate to. And, you know, a sticking point that developed in the relationship, you know, is when I would be talking and I'd be like, you know, because honestly, I try to treat everybody, no matter what the age group is, as equals, right? Intellectually speaking, maturity wise, etc. Because I feel that, you know, if you foster that kind of environment, those kind of conversations and those kinds of exchanges become more natural, and everybody should learn it, and it's, you know, just good to be that way. But, you know, we talk about, but we talk about generational things, you know, and I would be like, well, that's the problem with a lot of the younger generation today. And I would talk to her like I was talking to somebody else who was in their late 30s. And, you know, that became a big sticking point with her. She's like, we're not in the same generation. And I'm like, okay, my mistake. Sorry. But like, let's take a look at this. And especially if it was something that was critical. I think it was probably more her recognizing in her own behaviors some of the things that I brought up, contextually with what, you know, how people are or whatever the conversation was. And she would, it's kind of one of those, like, see some of the behaviors in yourself and not like it, and not like realizing that, like, this guy's right and I don't like that. And that's not to say that I'm right about everything, but it's like pointing certain things out. Nobody likes that have to, like, look in the mirror kind of thing and have to be, shit, they're right. Nobody likes doing that.
So,
but we're good friends to this day, though.
What was the youngest woman you've dated, Keith?
5 years younger than I am.
And did you find it was a problem?
No, for the most part. There were a few issues with, you know, the generational thing, but for the most part, it went okay, except for a lot of the paranormal issues that caused, problems between us, and that's a whole other ballgame, though. And the oldest I dated was 6 years older than I was. And at first we got along pretty well, but then the mask came off, and I grew enough and found enough strength in myself and pride in myself and loved myself enough that I wasn't going to let myself go down that road again. And I said, no, can't do this. Sorry. Not happening.
That's a difficult one to do.
You dated?
Oh, the youngest was 16 years younger, and the oldest was, I just did the math, 21 years older.
So you went from one extreme to another then?
When I was 18, the lady I dated was 39. She had a really nice car, full-time job. Yeah, I could go to the bar and drink at 18, and nobody ever questioned it because I was with an older woman, and I've always looked a little older in my face. Years and years on the farm with, just sunburn or whatever, it ages your face, whatever. And the younger one, I figured when and a lot of guys, it's never really frowned upon. What really pissed me off all the time, because Emily was a lot younger. They said, "Hey, can I have your daughter's number?" I was like, "Look, dude, it's in my bed. Shut the fuck up, move on." But because you think about it, when I had my, she was.
Bitch. Oh my goodness.
No, I said she's in my bed, not my bitch. Which
No.
Lord, you trying to get me some more hate on here? I've already been accused.
I heard what he said.
I did.
I'm thinking you're just trying to stir up trouble, Wendy.
Yeah. You want somebody else coming at me?
I didn't hear it. I heard him say, "This is my bitch." Or as we like to say over here, "This is me bitch."
Me bitch, yeah, me bitch. But and I'll look at the norms of how. Yeah, I've got really into my family tree or whatever, and a lot of the men was in their 30s, and you look at it, say father of or whatever, and the woman was like between 16 and 19 years old most of the time, and the guys was in their 30s, and and a lot of people, like I said, you're trying to get me more hate because I've already been accused of not supporting strong, independent women. And I thought, well, they
the wicked thing, right?
But yeah, when I got that, they said, "Oh, you just don't like strong, independent women." I said, "No, I like real strong, independent women, not man-made." But anywho, like I said, try to keep down the hate. But what I'm saying, and I tell them, if you're gonna be an asshole, be her asshole. And I've always had that. But when I heard that, I thought, I have been here since day one before the whatever. I'm like, yeah, do that. I got your back. I have promoted the same to my barber, to the guy who cut my meat. And I'm thinking, even last night, I went out and got cigarettes, and the guy sitting there, he said, something. I said, "Need to tune in to Wicked Women tomorrow at 5. Be there, be nowhere." But and it don't take much. And I challenge everybody on here. There's like 11 people in the message. Tell 5 people. Promote the people you like and want to see. Control their algorithm. And but no,
we're coming back regularly as well. We are going to do. Obviously, we're going to be here every Sunday, and Val and I will look at you boys coming on is great because you give us all your point of views. But Val and I, obviously, we try and tackle these subjects. And for you, Val, like I know there's some subjects that you wanted us to look at as well, wasn't it? That we haven't actually looked at, and one was the whole trans, woman. Everywhere you look.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason is because I feel like not all. I feel like the true ones that have gender dysphoria are not threatened by women and are not trying to, go into women's spaces just for the fact. The ones that are socially trans, fake trans, if you will.
Yes.
I think they are literally trying to just get rid of us. I feel like that's what they want to do.
There's a fantastic trans woman on TikTok, and I'm going to see if I can get her to come on, because she is, I've been following her journey all the way through, and obviously born a guy, now obviously a woman, and seeing the struggle that she's gone through, right? Seeing the struggle she's gone through. And those are the ones I have a lot of respect and time for, absolutely 100%, because sometimes we are born in the wrong body and we don't feel like the person we're born to be, and we have to do something about it. But you're right, there are some very characters, let's put it that way, there are some characters out there which do make you question the whole of it.
Here's my thought on that. I know the struggles that Valerie's going through. Me and her's got the same doctor appointment, just like 5 days apart. And and I've seen your struggles as what a biological woman that you're born a woman has went through. And being a woman is not something that comes natural or easy. You have to learn it. It is a trial. Growing up, to feel into your body. Because, like you said, you went to Canada and you come back with the girls. You know what I'm saying?
I came back with these.
And it's like, holy shit. And the same way I cannot put on blackface and pretend to be something else. Why should men be able to put on women's face or identify as a woman and compete in women's sports? I think it is totally asinine. It, serves no purpose but for a political statement. And I got in trouble in school. I said everybody wants to be a professional victim. They want to step on somebody else's name or whatever. They always want to run somebody's down to further their agenda. And like you said, if they're really born in their own body, there's a Blair, I forget what her name is. And like I said, I don't
Blair
know.
White.
And Blair, you seen her? And then like I said, that's weird to me that I even said but you know what I'm saying? But she will call out all of the trendy bullshit. Calls it trends or whatever. Oh, Steph says she's still learning about her body.
The ones that actually know, have common sense enough to know, if you transition, you still are not biologically that other sex.
No, and they get that.
To the ones that truly believe that they are. I mean, that's
it.
Those are the ones that
absolutely
feel the need to make me believe they are.
I just
Isn't it enough that they believe they are? Now they want to make everybody else think they are too.
It's such an emotive subject as well, and I'm going to message this girl and see if she wants to come on, because her story, and actually, so she's actually in a very happy, I don't know if she will come on, but she's in a very happy, settled relationship with a gentleman, obviously. And I'd love to, when you listen to the story of how they've gone from he's gay, they were both gay, and then obviously she realized she was trans, and now he's with a lady. It's a fantastic thing. I must welcome my podcaster husband to the stage. Hello, darling.
Welcome, wifey. Oh, are you talking to me?
I was talking to you.
Hi, wifey. How you doing?
It's always you've got a fine.
May I just say, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Welcome to.
How's everybody?
Look at Val. Doesn't she look amazing?
Val looks stunning.
She does.
My son Sam is here, and my brother-in-law is here. Look where we are. There's Wendy. She's my radio wife. Lucky me.
Hi.
And I will introduce you around. This is my son Sam, my almost 23-year-old son Sam. Hello. So you got Keith over here. You got Jason Patrick here. He's making he's like Penman. He's starting to make hats like Penman does. Oh, nice. This is Valerie. And Sir Wicked is Michael. And of course my radio wife Wendy.
That's right.
So just full disclosure, self-appointed. I took the sword and tapped my shoulders to make it official. I figure, if you're able to identify as whatever. I think I was born in the wrong financial bracket myself.
To be a knight.
I
would think being a knight would get you a little income.
That's
Can you
what
be
I'm
a knight
That's
and
what
not have any money in the bank? Wendy?
Well, you know,
over
there was lots of poor nights. You know, there was a lot of poor nights on
Poor
Quest.
nights, yeah.
Yes, the Knights Templar were very poor. You know, well, at least they were supposed to be poor. at Quest.
Individually, probably, yeah.
Individually.
Yeah.
Individually,
That's a whole, they could cash checks all over the world, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's what a little piece of history, and Scotty probably knows this. The reason people are scared of Friday the 13th is, I forget what king it was, owed the Knights Templar so much money that he basically said, screw them, I'm not going to pay him. We're going to kill them.
We're going to kill
And
them.
it happened on Friday. Yeah. We're going to make them
What
off.
was the year? What was
It was
the
one
year?
of the Louis.
It was like
I think
12 something. What was the year? I can't remember.
12 something sounds about right.
Get your money
12
on
or
it.
I
early
want to say
13.
1283. Close enough.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah, that's talking
Computer.
about stipulation.
Oh, there you go.
When
Computer.
were the Knights Templar disbanded?
Oh, I can watch this. Hey, Google, what year was the Knights Templar disbanded?
Hey Siri, what year was the Knights Templar disbanded? Oh, where'd my Siri go?
Can you say
So I'm
the
actually,
question?
I won't do it when there's when I'm on when my mic's being.
I mean, I could
Well,
ask
I had the
someone, but
answer,
it's
but I
not going to
wasn't here
answer
for
me.
the you lot.
Disbanded.
Yeah.
so getting back
What
to
year
New Year,
was the Knights Templar banded?
I'm not in that.
Banned.
Now we're just need
I'm gonna
Trials.
I'm
of
gonna
the
jump in
Knights
real quick.
Templar-
I'm gonna have to jump off
I
real
asked
quick.
that
I got to.
badly.
It's my turn to drive, so I'll see everybody later.
See you, Keith. Good to
See
see
you
you.
later.
Right, Dave?
You too.
hammer
Getting
down.
I'm gonna
back
try
to
that one more.
New
Did
Year,
anybody get an answer on that?
we are
No,
Yeah, but I
because
couldn't
you
hear it.
Try it
all
one more time.
answered and asked at the same time.
Let's
And
see.
then-
That's why I did it.
As-
Well,
as-
like I said, I could
Hey,
ask
Siri,
someone, but they're not going to
what
answer me 'cause
year
there's nobody here to
Were
answer
the Knights
me.
Templar disbanded? July 13th, 2017. Nope, that's the wrong year. Oh, here we go.
Really? They were together till 2017?
1312, it says here. 1312.
I was closest when I said the early 1300s.
Yeah.
See, it thought you were saying 13th century, and it was saying no, it was 100 years later.
So
yeah.
getting back to New Year's Eve, like we are literally approaching in the UK about 35 minutes before we leave 23 and go into 24.
Over there, yes. We still
and-
have 6 hours, yeah.
You do. You have like
5 hours
the
and
little-
35 minutes.
we've got the little camera there just waiting to show the fireworks when they start off. What is one of the saddest things, you know, I just want to ask each one of you guys briefly, but what is one of the saddest things? I'll start with you, Scotty, that you're about, and I pretty much know where we're going, and I my heart goes with you. What is one of the saddest things about 2023 for you?
For me, saddest things?
Yeah.
Oh, the same as for Sam. Loss of Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that was tough. It's still tough. And so yeah, I just, along with Sam, we just recently got a bunch of stuff from Dave's. He didn't really have a will, but he had wishes that people closest to him knew about. So we got a lot of his stuff. A lot of the swords hanging behind me here
Yeah.
are well, a couple of those were from Uncle Dave's collection.
Yeah.
And Sam, where's that walking stick you just brought me? Sam brought me his Captain Morgan's walking stick from his costume. This is what he had on the tip of that. If I can hold it still.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
So a little skull.
I'm pretty sure he carved that.
I think he did. There it is. It does it backwards on my camera. So, you know, you always fumble around with the direction. So
Uncle
he
Dave.
walked around with this for a while. So, yeah, that was the saddest part of 2023, which I never want to repeat again.
Such a good man, and I know he was keen to get Wicked Women up, and he would have, I'm sure, come on and been a part of it, because you know, I was very lucky that I got to do a Robertson with him, and it was just it was a wonderful show. He's such missed, and he was one of the characters I was thinking about this year. I mean, you know, people that we've lost and loved is Uncle Dave, because he was such a great man. So Yeah, my heart. And thankfully, Ruben is still here, which is wonderful.
Yes, and getting better. He's got a long road to travel here before he's better. But anyway.
But that goes back to when you lose something. When Uncle Dave passed, that's when we got to meet Uncle John, his brother. Talking about loss. That poor man has been through a lot of loss this year. Two brothers and his mother, and last time I'd seen him on the show or whatever, he still is holding his head up strong. And I'm thinking, this man, 2023. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Two brothers within a week. Then he come back to take care of his mom and dad, because they are elderly. And like I said, I figure, as much as I miss seeing Uncle Dave on the show, I'm also glad to have met Uncle John. You know what I'm saying? It's like cause and effect. It's like the butterfly effect or a drop of water here. And Uncle John is, very smart gentleman, well spoken, and like I said, it's the cause and effect. Because unless one thing happens, something else will not carry on, like the flow of energy. And like I said, but I know that Uncle Dave is greatly missed.
We've all got memories of Uncle Dave, and it's nice to talk about him for a second. Val, do you have much to do with Uncle Dave? Did you have much to do with him?
Well, I mean, I've talked to him several times, and then of course on Scotty's show, and my
KB.
show, Ken's show, everybody's show. But I've had a couple personal, conversations with him. So
he's such a supportive man, and he was very, very funny and very knowledgeable. And when I was in Canada, like Scotty's mic went, and he and I had to do the show, and he was talking about his life. And I mean, I've known Dave some years, because obviously I've known Scotty a long time, and I knew Dave not far behind that, and he was always so supportive. And I will never forget him for when I had all that stuff sent to me, that was perhaps a bit naughty. Uncle Dave might bring it up. What did he say?
Yeah, I went on because that's when I was filling in for KB Morning Coffee, and I said, hey, if you got an issue with any of these women and you want to be dirty or nasty, I will show up to your door and beat your ass. And Dave said, I will cut you from cock to throat with a sword. And I thought, well, hell, that escalated quickly. I'm talking about giving wholesale ass whippings, at discount prices. And Dave's like, I will cut you from cock to throat. And I'm like,
right.
Can you say that?
Discount prices.
But I'm like, but Dave, and I was just getting to know Dave. I met him this year when I started this more.
Such a
like I said,
guy.
the 2023 to get in the bad of it. This has got me to get my voice out. And I remember he was on because I had brought him on because I was sitting in for Ken, and I think you and Valerie both said, no, Michael, let it go. I was like, I would let it go, but I can't. And I hadn't talked to any Scotty or Dave or anybody. I think I talked to Scotty about it. And I'm like, what I need to do. Wendy wants me to stay calm, but it's not in my being to be calm. And like I said, I hadn't even mentioned to Dave, and you could see his face. He was pissed. I'm like, I thought you was more than because I never think of the guys who do like plays and the whole Renaissance fair that they have that violent side to take up for what they care about. But Dave's like, yeah. I was like, okay. I'll sit back and let Dave handle it then. Shit, it's one thing your ass beat by me. It's another thing you get cut by an older guy. But like I said, I was really impressed that morning. He pulled the phone up and he looked into it like really serious. Like, hey, if you don't stop this, you will deal with me. I had the means to travel. I'm like, okay, you go. I just kind of sat back over and did my thing.
And I think we lost. When we lost a very great man this year,
and it was sudden too. It was very, very sudden too, because what was it? He was on Scotty's show. I think it was on a Sunday right before all that, and if people don't know, he had an abscess hip and take care of your health.
I met Dave in 1993. And we were both working together on a project He was the producer and director of some television commercials for local state level. I don't know what league you call them, minor league baseball team, the Chaska Valley Buccaneers of all things. And I designed logos and did some art direction for Dave. And that's when we met. And that was 30 years ago. And we became good friends because we were interested in the same things. Doing the Renaissance Festival. 5 years later, he and I were part of launching with a few other guys, the Highland Regiment, our red-coated group. We were both already in festival, and we were also part of another group that Sam and I were just talking about today, Clan Tartan, which came before the Redcoats. It was 1620s Gustavus Adolphus War, and we were part of doing that. And so Dave and I did all of those things together, and we were just friends. We're going through right now. Sam has an old locket of Dave's that Dave wore on his costumes. That here you got it here. He wore this on his costume during the Gustavus Adolphus Wars, and he's got, of course, inside this, he's got two portraits in here. Why can't I open that? You just push the button. There it is. Okay, he's got two portraits in here. That he's got a portrait of James I of Scotland.
Wow.
Scotland, England, and Ireland, and he's got a picture of Charles I on the bottom. That was in the era that we were reenacting. Now, Sam had me print up some pictures of Dave that he's going to put in here in costume. But we were going through his pictures just a half an hour before this. And we're seeing all these different pictures of Dave throughout the last 30 years, many of them taken in my kitchen, my living room, at my computer, events we were at together, festival and so on, as we were just going through and noticing that. And so he's very fresh in my mind when you ask that question. But so,
and also, like, this is the last year, like me, because obviously with Henry, like, this is the last year that you would have had with Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
Whereas as this year goes out, this is the last year of all your friendship. And I think that, this New Year's Eve can be very different for lots of people. It can be a very sad time. A lot of people find it very hard to celebrate New Year's Eve. What is there to be happy about? What is there to look forward to? What is different about New Year's Eve? It's just one night. I'm going to go to bed early. People are alone. They've lost their partners. They've lost their loved ones, or they have nobody in their life. And I was saying earlier on, I found it very hard to celebrate New Year's Eve with strangers. I remember being in a nightclub once, and there was all these strangers around me. And I was like, I don't know you. Why are you wishing me Happy New Year? And it just felt like, why don't and I've spent many New Year's Eves on my own, and I always had Henry with me, always had Henry, and he was always there and had my back. And there was a particularly bad one year, and my partner left on New Year's Eve, and I felt really, really low, and that dog came up and put his paw on me, much to say, look, I'm still here. And I think 2023 has been such a tough year for so many of us. We've lost so many dear people. We've lost loved ones, but we've also lost a bit of ourselves, because when these people die or pass over, or word you want to use, sorry, would you not say that they take a bit of us with them? Because obviously I'll come to Michael about his dad in a minute, but would you say they take part of us with them? Because he definitely has.
Well, I think they take a part of us with them the same way they leave parts of them with us. I think everybody that you meet changes you in some way. So, even though we give them part of us, they give us back part of them. So even though they take a part of us with them when they go, they leave, a part of themselves with us. So we're never really without them, because I think we would be totally different if we had never met them. So they really changed everybody you meet changes you in some way.
Michael, when your dad passed this year, obviously, you've now become an orphan in 2023.
Yeah.
How does that like going into the new year? How's that feeling for you?
Like I said, 2024 will be my first, I guess, full-time year as an orphan, and I kind of have been shoved into the patriarchic role, which I know a lot of people don't like that. I'm the patriarch of my family now. I'm the oldest son, and my other two brothers don't have any kids. I got the three, so now from anything that happens, a lot of more people are coming to me saying, "Hey, what do you think? How should we handle this?"
You're the daddy.
And and I try to handle it the same way I do with the dogs here. I got one laying over here sleeping, the other one, he hears you, so he's on the march, looking around. But it is, and a lot of people are like, why don't you do this? I'm thinking, no, I'm 52 years old in June, and I will do what the hell I want. Like I said, 2024, I'll probably be a little more petty because I can. I'm officially getting to be old man status, so they can kiss my old ass.
Absolutely. And you're in daddy role. I mean, this year we
Get
thought
off my lawn.
we thought we were going to lose Ken this year. Let's be honest. When we started this year, like Ken was so poorly with, part of the family, the family that we're in. We honestly thought we were going to lose Ken. And it was a miracle that, and even though he's so naughty, still smoking, but it's a miracle that he's still here, and he hasn't come on tonight, which is a shame. But
I seen him. He said, "Great way to end the year with Wicked Women."
And you see, there's Rick Astley on. This is the show just before the fireworks come on. This is Rick Astley.
He messaged me a minute ago to get the link. So.
Run around over desert you.
Let's see the dance. Let's see the dance, Jason.
Oh God, no!
I can do the rodeo dance.
You heard me. Oh yeah.
I got my lat suit. I'm riding my horse.
Yeah.
You like that?
There's already people letting fireworks off here, and it didn't. Australia and New Zealand are already in as are many other countries in 2023. But it's horrible weather outside. It's raining. It's miserable. It's cold. I had an opportunity to go and see the fireworks.
High level.
I'm here. But Val, as we go in, is there anything that you're sad about leaving behind?
1 second. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Do I feel like I'm leaving?
Is there anything that you feel sad about leaving behind in 23?
Honestly, 2023 was such a roller coaster that I'm still nauseous.
Yeah.
And, when I think back, there's so many lows, but so many highs. So, I've had so much like devastating news this year, just to come back out of it, just to be able to say, okay, that's been beat. Now what's the next one?
Yeah, I mean, you had a tough year this year. We both did. But there's been some highs. There has been some highs, some good luck and stuff that. And I think for me, one of my memories that I shall always remember of 2023 was like that we started the show, that we got together and we were like, we actually made it happen. And as the weeks are going past, it's getting easier. It's getting easier to do.
Right.
And we might have lost a few girls along the way, although Caitlin comes and goes and stuff, and maybe the other girls will as well. But we're still here. We're still rocking. And looking fabulous, may I say.
Hopefully next New Year's, we'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But, I will leave pounds behind. So, apparently identifying as skinny and wealthy, it just wasn't working for me. So,
I've just put the link up on the screen. We are just under 20 minutes to go. And you'll hear a lot of fireworks going off. And I've got my little back camera right by the DV because you'll see all the fireworks go off, and that's the closest I could get to it. And it's so annoying with StreamYard. You can't do video in, and stuff like that. I'm trying to just bring in Jason here. Jason, you're sewing away there. You're doing a fine job. I'm still got all those socks that I'm collecting. Look at that. Who's that for?
Check that one.
So there's a tech sergeant at work. This guy also shares an appreciation for hats and kind of just, nicely crafted things and stuff like that. And I, we just talk about stuff like that all the time. And he had ordered a hat when he went out to Montana on leave, and it was going to be like a year before they got his hat finished. And so he was like jonesing for a hat, and I'm like, well, I can make you one. So
I think you should make a hat for me and Val, like the ones we're wearing on the Wicked Women. Let's just bring this up, the picture here. Let me just bring it up. Where is it? I've got to bring it up.
You want the traditional like witches hat?
The one that we're wearing. I'm just trying to bring it up. Let's see. How do I bring it up?
It has to be a PDF.
That's right.
Remember, you go to your what is it? Present. It says at the bottom.
I can't show it while I'm on here. I don't think
it should take all our pictures and push them off to the side in miniature. There you go.
But Jason, if you could make me and Val one of those hats, we wouldn't mind that.
I need,
ladies and gentlemen, I have to go upstairs. I have to get out of here. So before Sam takes off, and so if you're still on in a while talking, I'll check back in.
All right, my love. Lovely to see you. And you, Sam.
Lovely
Bye.
to see you. I love you. Good night,
Sam.
Everybody.
Bye,
See you
Scotty.
later.
Bye, Sam.
Happy New Year,
Steph
buddy, Sam.
Still Die Hard saying I'm trying to listen, but I'm at a party. I mean, God, talk about Die Hard, Steph. We love you.
I'm trying to remove myself. There we go.
I can bring you out. Don't worry, honey. There you go. You're gone.
There you go. Say, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. The lady, the British lady who come in and did that, she was so crass and cold with it, and with that British accent, it was just like a dagger. It's like you are. It's just like
the
boom.
weakest link.
I'm and
So
she
I'm
had
just
no
gonna-
facial expression.
We can actually hear what actually Rick is singing about. Let's have a look. Because he's in the
He's
background.
singing about how he's never going to give her up or let her down or run around or desert her. If he's not, well, then he's wrong.
Yeah, he's probably going to sing that just before or after, I would imagine, because it's the big hair, and he's compared to some of the and I have to apologize for some of the fireworks and the music choice and just for people knowing, the Millennium Wheel, which sits on the banks of the River Thames, that is where they let fireworks off. They just cover that thing with fireworks and it just goes off. And I was supposed to be there tonight with my sister, and somehow I was going to do both of them. I'm not sure how, but I would have done both of them. But my sister got sick and the weather is so bad that I was like, no, it's not happening. I'm doing it from home. So this is why we're watching it.
But they do it in front of they do it in front of the London Eye. And if people has never seen the London Eye, it is a feat of engineering that sits on the bank of the river. We call it
the Millennium Wheel still. The London Eye, Millennium Wheel, it's the same thing. Have you ever seen it, Jason?
The giant Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
I have seen pictures of it. I have not seen it in person.
Well, you need to come over and see it. Like, I would not go on it because I see how when it goes up, it actually goes like that, and I'm like, no, Not
Oh,
really. And
it's ways like back and
Vegas,
forth.
Vegas
And
has one that's very, very similar, and it may be very, very similar in size. And it's very slow. It's not,
it's when it
Oh, that's
breaks
even
down
worse.
and you need to go to the toilet, and there are people turning their backs because they're bringing out the commode, and you're like, I'm really, can you imagine the embarrassment of that? You're sitting up there going,
Nope.
hi.
well,
Oh, no.
if you're at the very top of it and you got to open the hatch and drop trow and let fly, then I mean, like,
yeah, hey,
they can't
what a
see
better
your
view,
face
right?
at that point. So
yeah.
We have the lovely Dennis.
Shit rolls downhill.
Can you hear it?
Pretty much. Hey,
Hi, Kenny. Can you hear me?
KB Ken Ballot.
I want to say, everybody, hope they have a prosperous new year. That's the main thing. Everybody's got their health and all that. That's the most important thing.
And we were just saying we were so worried about you at the beginning of this year, and it was an absolute miracle that you're still here to tell the tale. And 2023 was quite the journey for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It's because he's so damn mean. That's what it is.
That's probably what it's called. It's called Mr.
So
Arnold.
that's why. That's probably why he's still here.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
he's
Yeah,
so
'cause
damn
he's so
mean.
damn mean. Yeah, so damn mean. Yeah, even Cancer couldn't fuck with Ken.
I'm just ornery. That's a different thing.
You wanted it. I mean, let's just come to you in a minute, Ken. Like, you were on such a journey. I mean, it was a time when you just, it shook you to the core. What was, and you always kept that positive vibe up and that positive, and it got you through it.
Yeah, well, like you said, it took a while. I lost my voice. It was almost a year that I didn't have a voice. I didn't know if I would ever get my voice back. But other than that, I took it. What's gonna be is gonna be, and I can't change it. And it was in God's hand. So if I would have bit the dust, I'd have just bit the dust, and I've been okay with it. I mean, that's just me.
Talking about his
It
journey,
wasn't-
he's got a new puppy too. You've had this is your first year with Ryder too, ain't it? Your puppy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because when
first year.
Ken was really sick, they got him Ryder, and Ryder is about like Mila or Poseidon is with me. She's right with
Where is
KB.
Ryder? Where is Ryder?
Right, please. Let me see.
She's a big puppy now.
She has grown a lot, and
She's a big
You
old
know-
puppy now.
Oh,
look at her.
Yeah,
Look at it. She looks like a marble.
Should be a year old in February.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's had a bond with KB with him being sick. She's been there with him, and like I said, ain't nothing like the love of a good dog. And
Ryder.
and you come.
Ryder. Oh, there she is. Hello, baby.
There you
Hello, baby girl. She's like
Big
Dad.
puppy
Dad,
sometimes.
who's
Um,
Oh
But,
my
you talking
goodness,
about
she's
him. You're talking about the pets we have lost.
Okay.
Over the
Timothy
years and
Chalamet.
here.
Chalamet or Chalamet?
I'm
People.
got his back.
People.
Yeah,
Oh,
I really
but-
do.
Did you just come on to? Did you just come on to watch?
yeah.
Ken just
Oh.
came on to look
Likes
around.
to watch.
like literally.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are-
KKB likes to watch.
It's just this is a really
14
different show
minutes.
tonight. Usually Wicked Women has a topic, but tonight it's not. It's just like a New Year's Eve, and to be with those that we love and to be with you guys. We have a little family here. We all support each other. Scotty, Ken, Val with her show, Wicked Women, Michael, Jason, Carlene, and all the other, Steph and everyone else that comes on and is a part, Uncle John, Rupin when he's around. We're a family, we're a team, and it's lovely that we're here on this small little group tonight.
I got a question for KB, Wendy. We was talking
Go for
about
Yeah.
the dogs, and KB's like me. We're old school. When we was old school before it's cool, right? She brought up the XO bully thing. People coming in basically tell them, give up your dog or lose your home. We're going to take your dog and put it down. And I let them know real quick, they better bring a lot of people to come get my dog. What is your thought on that? Because I see how you hold Ryder, and I see a lot of the mannerisms, the way you take care of her. Well, I do this.
6
We
minutes.
gotta go.
No,
I think
6
said-
minutes. Go for it.
Probably to go to the dentist or either get the throat fixed.
And so he was like,
Yeah.
jonesing for a
I
half, and
I'm trying to mute here. Ken, come back and say that again. I couldn't hear you. Come closer. Michael, you need to turn your mic down slightly. It's really loud. Can you
okay.
can you come closer and tell us what again, Ken?
Yeah, I would probably, they would probably go to the hospital and have to get their throat reconstructed after I hit her in the throat. That's just me, you know. You not go, my dog is my family. Just like somebody's cat is their family. You don't throw your family in the street. You know, I'm gonna make it worth your while. And believe me, I'm a nice guy, but I will smile at you when I hit you in your throat. I'm just saying.
And there you go. I've just muted. I've just me and you, Val and Ken, at the moment. But can you hear the fireworks behind me?
Yeah. Every now and
thought it was
again, I can hear them.
Excuse me, is that fireworks right here?
That's
I thought it
fireworks.
was Michael.
Mhm.
I thought it was Michael passing gas or either Scotty. I didn't know.
Yeah,
No, this-
I mean,
The fireworks have just
I'm
started.
not there.
They haven't come on yet.
I see Kim Estes is
Is that-
on. Hey, Kim.
And I'll resave this and resend it to you.
Hi, Colleen. We can see you. Just want to say, like, lots of
Latin.
love to Colleen.
Save
We can
as.
see you. I don't want to bring you on if you don't want us to, love, but you know, look amazing. Hi, Kim.
Replace.
Hi, Kim.
And
Lovely
we'll
to
send
see
this
you.
over to you. Right.
Barbie D.
here.
Right.
yeah, we got Barbie D in there also.
We're literally just waiting for this. We are like, oh my God, it's like, what, 6 minutes before 2024 is here, and 365 days of more shit is about to start.
We'll have to
No.
say a
Today's a
little prayer that
different day.
24 is better than 23.
Oh my God. Let's hope so. Where are
well,
we?
based off how everybody's talking, you know, with all of that stuff here lately, I kind of feel like, you know, telling everybody that, like, hey, learn to embrace the suck.
Pretty much.
We
That's what I'm
started
saying. It is odd what you can get used to. And you know, the 2024 is an election year for us here in the States.
Yeah, and
Which
the
ought to be-
UK.
which ought to be a real shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bumbling Joe Biden and whoever they put against him.
Is
You know, like I said, you know, they you know, I tell them everybody's talking about you know, predictions. I want to know what the Simpsons said for 2024 because and people are damn spot on. I don't know what they're smoking or who's there, whatever, but the Simpsons is on par.
Oddly predictive.
yeah, I know. They don't look
Yeah,
very
it's like,
good for
holy shit.
2024, does it? No, let's be honest.
No.
No, and you know, they predicted coronavirus. They predicted Trump running and winning the president. And like I said, it's just a lot of things that they have predicted us. You're like, holy shit.
Kim
They
Estes.
People
predicted
are-
a Russian resurgence.
Yes, Kim is
Yeah.
here. He's watching. We got quite a few people watching, which is lovely. Colleen is watching us from hospital, which is so sad because I wish she could be with us, but bless her, she's not feeling so well. But it
Yeah.
I
looks
want to
like-
say Happy New Year to Kim Estes. He's in the
Yeah,
chat
yeah.
room. Good to see you.
You see a thing on here
Yeah.
from Wicked Women, the StreamYard. Click on that, Kim, and come aboard and tell everybody happy, or just say "Daha." They know what you mean. I'm just
Kim,
saying.
if, Kim, if you need the link, I'll send it to you.
It's
just
right
sending
here on the
it.
screen, so it's on the screen. So all you got
Yeah,
to
it
do
is
is touch
on the screen. There you go.
It'll bring them right
KB, where are you from?
up. From Virginia.
You're from Virginia. Okay. I was trying to.
He's from the
trying to
Yankee part
place
of
the
Virginia. up
accent.
north.
Can't you tell by its outrageous accent?
I got a-
French accent he has, yes.
You know what I tell him? He's northern. He's northern Virginia, and then you got to emphasize northern. Me and
Look,
South
there's
Virginia.
something to be said for that.
Yeah, see,
Cowboys-
the ones that live in Northern Virginia, they sound
Yankees.
different than we do.
They absolutely do. I grew up there.
Yeah, we call it. We call it
7 miles from my house is the capital of the Confederacy.
Right.
But you still sound different than we do down here.
Yeah,
But, you know,
still sound Yankee.
Y'all still sound different.
but we still
No,
say y'all down
no.
here.
Oh, Scotty, I almost done something that I had to catch myself when you mocked it.
No, I like teasing Ken because they do a lot of the reenactments for
Almost
Sons of
flew the
Confederacy.
bird.
And
I will say though, when they say Northern Virginia is a different place, being a Nova native, look, I have real problems with it because once you get into Northern Virginia, you can't find a goddamn place that sells a goddamn glass of iced tea that's sweetened.
No.
Look, no.
Well, all you have
take
to
your
do is
sweet
come
tea
farther
very
south.
seriously. You take your sweet tea very seriously.
You have to come
cannot-
farther south to get
Right.
good sweet
We
tea.
have
It's like the
we have-
Mason-Dixon line gets weird up there, and then all of a sudden you're like, I thought we were in Virginia. Why can't I get sweet tea? Well, there's sugar on the table. All right, look, lady.
So you're going to hear now. I'm going to turn this up a bit because we are literally
All right.
2 minutes.
Wendy, is that your television on
Yeah,
the screen?
Can you
Okay.
hear it? Because you're
Can't hear a thing.
No, I don't have my sound up very loud.
Mutual. So you can just hear mine. Hang on.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Val? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear your TV.
Really? Hang on.
I can't. Can you guys hear it?
Mm.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
You should be able to hear that.
It's coming in faint and broken.
Well,
It's
you'll see the
probably-
fireworks
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, you were definitely not 5x5 on the TV.
No.
You not hear it?
No. We can see it, but we can't hear it. No. Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7,
6, 5, 4,
4,
3,
3.
2,
1.
Oh, big
1.
and Merry or Happy New Year's. Yeah, that's it.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
Happy New
Year's
Year
to
in
all of
London.
you.
Yeah.
Where's the mistletoe?
Where everyone will be very proper
I see
in how we wish each other
Stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
What?
Miles.
This
I
is
see
the
Miles
BBC.
Yeah.
See, we have to wish you a happy New Year, and then in 5 hours you have to get up and wish us one.
Happy New Year, Wendy.
Happy New Year, Wendy.
Happy
I think-
Happy New Yeah.
Guys hear it now?
I'm looking for the mistletoe.
I'm
Wait,
I'm
that's-
watching it on my TV here. Yeah.
Hey, Scotty.
Boy, they are.
Hey, Ken.
Scotty. When you
Yes.
said you're looking for the mistletoe, for a minute I think Mike thought you said missing toes. He started pulling the sides off.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yes.
no, I ain't got none of them.
Missing
missing
toe.
yet.
Hey, Ken, I got my red cap too.
I can't hear your TV, but I can see it.
It's
You
so
should have
weird.
said, well,
Make
I've got-
Dixie great again.
There it
Super
is.
loud, and you guys
Hey,
can't
they make really good paper cups and
Oh.
paper plates. I really do appreciate.
They
They
do.
have
They
good
do.
sugar too. And
see, mine
Yeah.
says make
Yeah.
Dixie
I
great
wish
again.
I were in Dixie, away, away.
Happy New Year,
Down in
guys,
Dixie.
from
Happy
London.
New
New Year.
Year.
It's
London,
official
that's
because
it.
it's Greenwich Mean Time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be living in the future? You know, what is crazy? You're in a different year now than we are.
I am. Yes, I'm in
That's
2020.
Yeah.
right.
You know,
There it is.
How is the future? Yeah, how is the future there?
I've got
But
one of
I'm
those in
watching it
black
over here.
somewhere.
On my TV right here. And I
So
tell you
it's like
what,
you
the Brits really know how to put on a fireworks show. They really do. And they got the air drones that puts up the messages like Happy New Year's or whatever. And the technology that we have embraced in the last few years for like New Year's with the drones, with the lights and stuff like that. It is just really, really amazing of all the stuff that they can do now. So, Ken, hey, brother Ken.
What's that hat say? Cthulhu in 2024.
Cthulhu, yes, Cthulhu in 2024.
Yeah.
Spock Kirk 2024.
Spock and Kirk 2024. Kirk and Spock. I need one of those.
Speaking of things that's coming out in 2024, Doctor Who's first episode season will be coming out very soon.
You are seeing the future. I'm trying to bring everyone's Happy New Year in. Thank you. Happy New Year, Alison.
Hey, Steph. Happy New Year in England.
Yes, Steph said I'm seeing the future.
Sounds like World War III here.
Steph, Happy New Year, sweetie. Keith, Happy New Year. Oh my goodness. Yes, she is seeing the future because in London we are now in 2024.
Well, congrats, you made it.
Isn't it pretty?
Kim said he was in a crowded and loud environment, or else he would show up and wish everybody happy
Now,
New Year.
if we were all together, we could all be singing Auld Lang Syne, right?
One of these days, maybe we'll all be together on New Year's.
Right?
Nope. I refuse to believe it's 2024 in England. Rick Astley is not singing Never Gonna Give You Up instead of Auld Lang Syne.
There
Nope.
you go.
He's not.
Nope.
Yeah.
He is not Rick rolling the entire world. I don't want to. Nope. It's still
Is he
2023.
really not singing Old Lang Syne?
No, he is.
Oh,
I'm saying that.
all right.
I'm saying that he since he's not singing it.
Oh.
Since it's.
And you
I
guys can't
refuse to
hear
accept it. What?
You can't hear this.
Nope.
No,
Hear the fireworks. Don't hear the music.
Weird,
we
is
can
that?
see it, but we can't hear it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it pretty? That's actually the Spice Girls singing "Spice Up Your Life" to the fireworks.
Like I said, I'm watching it on the TV here also, and the way they do it around the big Ferris wheel, as Jason put it, the London Eye or whatever, the Millennium Wheel. They got all the culture. Like I said, technology has come so far in in the last few New Years that they can do this and make it all. I'm curious to see what they do with the new building they built in Vegas that looks like they can make it like a moon or whatever. It's just like big,
that's pretty impressive,
round orb that they can put all these messages on. I'm kind of curious to see what they do.
I don't even want to think about how much it costs to build that.
I forget. I saw behind the thing that and hit his billions, but now they want to put.
Main menu.
But now that they're supposed to be building one in London or Paris one.
Oh wow!
With that technology, so.
I wonder if it's my mic.
It's
It's the mic that's stopping the background noise, Scotty.
From me,
Well, guys,
I shouldn't have any background noise.
From
I'm
mine.
pretty quiet over
I'm
here.
gonna
No, she's in my head.
How about that? Can you hear it now?
I'll talk to you guys
I
later.
can,
Y'all
maybe.
have a great, safe New Year. I'll talk to y'all later.
Oh wait, that
Later,
was Ken.
KB.
Bye,
Back
Kenny.
in.
See you, Kenny.
Bye, bye.
Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Everybody know
my
what
God,
Auld Lang
it'd be
Syne
bad.
means?
Can you hear this?
Auld Lang Syne. It's Scots English.
A little bit.
Not Gaelic. It's Scots English,
Oh my God.
and it means something like old time since, and it basically means
Tracy.
old time since.
Thank you, Tracy.
He's actually singing "What a Wonderful World" to that song, to that drone. Isn't that cute?
But
That
that's
is
what I'm saying.
cute.
The technology that they have now to do that, it's almost like it's in 3D, and it just it plays on your mind. And like I said, I'm watching it on
Jason,
the
what
other
key were
TV.
you in?
What key was I?
Happy New Year, Tracy.
Be forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot, and the days of auld lang syne. For auld lang syne, dear, for auld lang syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet, for the sake of auld lang syne. And there's like 15 verses to it. So,
All right. No, I'm going to put the doctor hat on for a minute. So, how was it being bullied in course? Yeah. Oh, y'all singing in course. You know what I'm saying? You know, in course in school. I said, how was it to be
never
bullied?
in chorus. I wasn't bullied for that. I was bullied for entirely different reasons.
Oh,
Is that Big Ben?
well, all right, get out another.
Yeah, I keep
picture to take
telling
down.
I keep telling Tracy to come and join us because she would love
hey,
to.
Tracy.
She said she's going to
Tracy.
come and join us, so bring it on. We need more of the British invasion.
Tracy, if you don't
Hey,
get
cool.
on there, we're going to be very upset with you.
Pretty much.
Going to be very disappointed. Go ahead and log
the
in.
movie-
That was almost, you were almost doing a little Pippin from Lord of the Rings. And if you're not here, he'll be very, very disappointed.
Disappointed.
That was a bit of
you-
Sean.
you-
Sean there.
So,
Yeah.
Tracy, why aren't you logging in?
I'll
Just-
make her know.
Go ahead and log in. Fire up the old webcam.
She says I will, just not tonight. Laugh out loud.
Oh,
She will, just
you know,
not tonight, she says.
you're talking
You
about
have to,
the
you have to
invasion.
feel the stag. Feel the stag. Be one with the stag.
We will have to try and get Tracy in next Sunday for the first Wicked Women. Well, technically 2024, even though this one is, right?
This is
No,
this is
so
a
far,
good show.
2024
this
has
one
been
is-
okay.
Is technically 23/24.
Is it,
Literally.
she's talking about the British invasion with the British ladies. I know I could probably speak for the other two gentlemen in the room, but we could probably handle the British invasion of the British women a whole lot better than we could the Beatles.
Sure. Is that
Yeah, I
Wendy?
am
Is
not
that a
wearing
dress
fucked up
you were
haircut,
wearing?
actually. The bulk.
It's a dress. It's a dress.
Can you show it off? I
I'm
can only
just-
see part of it from here.
There you go. There's the dress.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, go ahead.
Hello.
and Do a little turn.
Yeah, we need
Uh,
the
if you will.
spin.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello.
Yeah,
It's very tanny.
I like it.
hey,
Is
you
that
should
a
have
dress
been
you're
over-
wearing
You're
now?
so sparkly.
Open hip.
Val, are you wearing a dress?
Watch
Now
all the
it's me.
80 kids. It's shiny.
You
Shazam.
want to show that one off?
I don't know if you all want to see it because
Hold
there's
the
a lot
bottom.
more material than they are with Wendy's.
I like a dress with a view.
I told Valerie a while ago.
He's trying to.
It's
She's
the way
trying to
she
not
was trying
show
to
you that
get
This
her
one
on.
is.
Oh, there you go. Hello.
It's
Hello.
it's a little.
I said, we.
Yes.
It's a little. You know,
Yeah. It's a little
on both
okay.
sides.
I've got my standard issue
Shiny,
Vetpro
says Keith. Shiny.
Tiger Stripe hoodie with my my Levi's 501 falling off of my ass.
Well,
Uh,
well, in
and
that
all of
case,
that
I
accompanies
wear
the
my
to accent.
sweater today
I
instead
have
of
my
black one.
unkempt, uncombed hair,
I'm showing my.
possibly food in my beard. I don't know.
Oh
Oh,
my
Oh, I don't know if you all got a shot.
Yeah,
of that.
this one. This one is cut just a touch high.
Oh,
So
great ass. Great ass.
There it is.
You know.
Yes,
Jason,
I've been
in your
told that
defense-
about myself quite frequently. I am a great ass. I know I can be gruff in my personality sometimes, but I'm well-meaning.
You're a big ass, did you say? A great
That's
ass.
what I've
Oh,
heard,
look at
but
the difference.
did I hear wrong?
No, but in Jason's defense, I know how much them hoodies cost from Merch Link and Bio from Nick Quack Bang.
Oh, I think
yeah,
this one's like
Miles
54.
That's what I'm saying.
It's on bunker
Miles
branding.
That's what I'm saying. Thrift store.
That's a pretty average price. I set up my buddy's website and all of his stuff, and we put 56 as the average cost of a hoodie over there.
Yeah.
One for the
Yeah,
lady.
some
There you
some
go.
of y'all are a little underdressed, but like I said, Jason's hoodie
Well,
costs more
like
than
I
the
said,
outfit
this
for the
this
people.
dress,
Place.
this is the front of it. It's just this much.
I figured
Okay,
when you were
so-
standing there, I thought you got those
Yeah,
up to the
it's
pelvic
got-
bone
It's got one
slits on
piece
both
down the
sides.
front and then the back, so it
So-
kind of flies open a little.
Yeah, I told her a while ago when she was getting ready. I said, "You better fix the bottom of that, or we could have a wardrobe malfunction."
Well, you
And
know,
I
I
was
had
like, wow.
I had to put a wardrobe.
Calm down, Whitney.
Mhm.
Yeah, Whitney.
Yeah.
Or
did
was
you
it?
go?
No, it was Latoya. Who had the
Latoya,
wardrobe malfunction?
yes.
It was Latoya. Sorry.
I think several of them had a wardrobe
I
malfunction.
thought it was
Yeah,
Janet Jackson that had the first.
No, it was Janet. It was Janet. Not
Janet that
Latoya.
had the
Yeah.
first
So calm,
malfunction.
calm down, Janet.
Yes.
Yeah, she whipped off the thing, and there's like a whole nipple exposed on the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah,
Everybody
her
lost.
whole.
Ching! Which is so.
Y'all
Justin and
ordinary.
Janet up there
Well,
in the upper corner need
I
to
mean,
chill.
mine are cinched up. They're not going anywhere. You won't be able to see it if I do. But
Well,
you know,
I didn't.
Scotty says to me, Wendy, when you do Robertson, you know, we need to get those
Love
goon
the girl.
fingers up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
now if I took this off, they probably wouldn't see them.
Honestly,
Oh,
it's been a crazy show tonight because we've had lots of people coming and wishing us happy new year, and I am now officially in 2024. You guys are still last year.
It
Oh
is.
yeah, it is.
We're so
For
last
another
year.
You're so last year.
Dude.
5 hours.
We're gauche.
And will
Okay.
Virginia?
What?
Or which part
I
of
said
you
we're
will reach?
5 hours.
Which part
Yeah.
will be? Which part of Scotty or Michael or Jason? Which one of you is going to reach midnight first?
Me and Valerie.
Um,
will. Me
well,
and Valerie.
Michael
Scotty.
will. Scotty and I
Valerie.
are in the same. We're in the same time zone.
That's what I'm saying. It's 5 hours
So,
for us.
so
Jason and I are
Michael
same
and I
time.
will, and then Scotty and Jason, right?
Yep.
Because they're 6
6 hours
hours
away
behind
for
us,
us.
and we're 5
Yeah.
hours. So yeah, it's weird how that happens. How you can be in different years in the same country. That still blows my mind. And it's like, and the international dateline does all this weird squiggly shit. So you got some people here in Australia's already probably
Right.
be day after tomorrow. So it's like,
Yeah.
So
But I'm
I'm
like,
going to
yeah.
ask each of us what we hope 2024 is going to bring. For me, I hope that 2024 brings the miles closer because I'd like to travel. I'd like to come and see you guys and meet you all face to face. I mean, obviously I've known Scotty the longest, so it would be and I'm hopeful to see Scotty probably before I see the rest of you.
Maybe
but
March or
you know,
April.
but for me, I really want to change my life in every single area of my life. You know, where I live. You know, everything. I just want it. I want to change. I want to do it because I think you reach a point when you're like, this is, even though we should always want to do it regardless of it being a new year or not. I think when you get to the new year, you think, right, well, I've got 12 months now to term. This time next year, it's going to be a lot different. So for me, it's about better health, better mileage, better, and to travel and to see you. And I'd like love in my life. I really would like to. I have a lot of people, but I mean, I'd like to, have that the full Monty, because that's been missing quite a lot. What about you, Scotty? What would you like to see?
the full Monty. All right,
Oh,
we'll
boy.
just stand up here and give the full Monty. Okay.
In 2024, what would you like?
I would like the full Monty, please.
Yeah.
Check me down for the full Monty. I would like. I think on a much broader scale, I would
Yeah.
like to see my country doing better, which means the elections will be good. We need definitely need a changeover in leadership in our country. There's a lot of things that need fixing that'll probably never get fixed because we all know in governmental forms anyway, it rarely gets fixed. It leads a decline always leads to more decline. And eventually a bunch of senators assassinate somebody and you're out. and the country starts to decline. Who knows?
It's too brute.
Et tu brute, which he never said. That's Shakespeare. But the whole thing with that too, that was a bunch of could you imagine a bunch of senators all meeting the president or the leader of the country in the forum and all knifing him to death? I mean, that's what happened. Of course, that was Rome. That's a couple thousand years ago. So, they did things a little differently back then.
That's what happened here with Boris Johnson. Everyone's
right now, you're seeing that. I think that's taken place with Trump right now. There's political assassination, metaphoric assassination going on right now, figurative. And so they're attempting to do that. I want to see that all go away. So, in simple words, I want to see 2024 bring us a change in leadership that's for the positive, that's going to do something good for our country, because we're in a rough shape right now. I would say on a personal level, a lot of it's selfish. I've got some very selfish things I want to have that I won't share with the public.
Okay.
Wendy, you know some of them because we talk about stuff sometimes. So there's personal things I want to see happen. There is, I think a big one is certainly want to work with my agent to sell one of my literary properties. We're going to, I think, re-engage the DreamWorks thing, the animated feature film thing for one or two of my properties and see what bites. And,
it's Tom O'Head among them.
Tom O'Head is the second one on the list. And the first one would be Fox and Bear. And Fox and Bear, and not having been written yet, but I'm writing the people version of the human version of it. Fox and Bear is the anthropomorphized version. And I would like to see that take off. That's the one that DreamWorks expressed interest in because it was taking place in Egypt. And they thought it was a grand story. It's kind of, you take The Mummy, Indiana Jones, all your old supernatural mummy films, put them all together in a 1920s historical archeological adventure, anthropomorphized. Fox and Bear are the main characters. And so if that takes off,
you've been waiting.
That could change things dramatically.
Yeah.
So, I knock on wood a little bit. I don't want to jinx it. But that would be my big thing I'd like to see change in 2024 is something getting out of just doing work to live and falling back on my laurels a little bit and having something that will establish a little more for my death. So those I leave behind are fine. So
for you, it's like, to see your country better.
I want to see my country better.
And some personal stuff that you want to
do,
especially with work. Michael, what is it you'd like to achieve in 2024? What would you like to see?
I'd like to achieve my financial situation to the one I identify as. Like I said, we had talked, essentially I wanted to do Christmas in England, but with the death of my father and all the money, what people don't realize, when somebody dies, there is a lot of financial burden that takes precedent. Or they said, well, we can leave him on nice, or y'all can come up with this much money. So, that basically took a shit on all my plans. But
I am curious, Michael, can I ask, you don't have to answer if it's too personal, but was there an estate to be able to insurance and estate or anything that helps with any of that?
And the way I tell people, my dad planned for nothing. He figured, kick the can on down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're fighting to save the house right now because, when him and my mom passed, the house was supposed to be going, to my kids. And I figured I'd put James and Michael Allen there and let them be really close brothers. They say the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I was going to be in their ass with both feet, and they're going to grow together and act like siblings and not have a pissing contest. But right now we're fighting the bank because he was not doing what his obligations was. Same way with the farm. I'm dealing with the things that he left undone. Then you have people come in from the outside that are just greedy. you know, which I knew that the one, I won't even give him enough credit to say his name on here, but he's an egotistical, womanizing prick that thinks he runs everything. And
But
I told him the other
personally,
day,
like, you want to do what? Do you want to achieve what with this?
Oh.
Let's get back
right
on
now,
topic.
oh, she said back on track. And there's not enough ADHD medicine because once I get on that thing, it
Like
takes
we
me
need
back.
to start topic.
Yeah.
What is it you want to achieve for what do you want to see happen and achieve in 2020?
Like I said, I do want to travel a whole lot more. I didn't get a passport for it to be a wild ornament and gather dust. Like I said, I want to finish expanding my school because that builds a
Yeah.
like Scotty says, a better future for me and my children.
Sure.
You know, even though my children are grown, you know, dog treats ain't cheap, and the dogs will tell you, "Hey, I have a standard of living here. If you can't take care of it, we'll find somebody else." But no, there's just a lot of things that's, you know, educational, academic, and personal that I would like to expand a lot on. And even some of this that got dumped in my lap might give me the opportunity to back my financial things up. So like I said, I can,
Good.
you know, finally be in the financial class I think I've always deserved to be in, you know, because I identify as having Jeff
I
Bezos type
identify
money,
as but it hasn't happened yet. Jason, what is it? I mean, obviously we know, Jason, you've achieved your job, but is there anything else that you want to achieve in 2024?
Well, I mean, aside from, you know, Scotty working out the details with DreamWorks so that basically all of the usual suspects on his show in the captain cabin have to voice the characters.
Yes.
The,
Some voice role for Jason in this.
no, I think really the best way I can probably sum up, you know, what I want to see happen in 2024, aside from obviously the things that are, you know, causing strife in the world on a global scale at a national level, things like that. I think that's all of a given. Really, the only thing that I can say is don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
That's you have another opportunity. We all have another opportunity. I have another opportunity. Don't fuck it up. Just, you know, if I expounded upon anything else, we'd be here forever, and I would go down my own rabbit hole.
Don't forget, you've got to like make 3 hats, you know, for us women.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Because, so Val, what would you like to achieve in 2024? What is your plans? You know, we know what you've come from in 2023. What would you like to achieve?
Just, well, I guess it is kind of personal, but I would like for, you know, all of my friends and family to be well,
Yeah.
you know, as well as possible, because 23 was just, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wouldn't mind to get my house finished or almost finished.
Yes, because you had the leak just before Christmas.
I did. I had to tear up my kitchen floor and replace the sink and the counter and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean,
poor Val.
Just little things. You know, there's so many tiny things that if I could achieve even half of them, it would make such a difference just for myself. Health wise, you know, I would like to not be sick 90% of the time.
Yes.
You know.
I feel your pain.
So I mean, you know, that's a big thing.
What is he actually meaning, Elderberry, at that one?
Rough. He probably means hubba hubba. In
hubba. Yeah, he's like, did you remember the wolf is like, wow. Woof, woof.
Rough. Oh, woof woof. Oh, woof woof.
Woof. Yeah, woof woof. Yeah.
Oh, okay, we get it now. Keith says, actually meet someone special and finish my home. He has books to write. I mean, what are some of the things that we've never seen? You know, Scotty, we have New Year's resolution, and I know you did a show on it, and People can still check it on YouTube under Scotty Roberts.
Thank you.
It was last week. Is there anything that you have not achieved yet that you always set out to do?
Me?
Do it, yeah.
Me? Oh, tons. There are tons of things that I have not achieved. Some of them are just my own damn fault that I haven't achieved them. I would say it hasn't been a life goal of mine, but in the last year, Rainey wanted me to try to get into tattooing, so I'm working on trying to get that up and running.
Yeah,
I would like to, I tried to create a comic book publishing company several years ago. That's still on my bucket list. I certainly want to get. I have a ton more books to write and illustrate that are not done. Other things that he fell down. Piper down. Piper down.
There is a piper down. We have a piper down, but I'm back.
Hatter down.
Jason, do you mind not making all that bloody racket? Do you know what
That's
I mean?
right.
Yeah,
Yes, I do mind. Thank you very much.
Next time you fall, can you do it quieter? Can you have the courtesy to mute your mic first?
Is there
Yeah.
but is there something that you haven't achieved that you still want to? I mean, like you look back, because I mean, I always thought I wanted to buy my own home. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do that. I really don't think. But is there anything that you still wanted to achieve?
Are you asking me still?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Oh
you 'cause
yeah. There are things I want to achieve.
Man, come on.
There's you mentioned house. I have a house I want to design and build. There's traveling I haven't done. I want to travel before I'm too old to enjoy traveling. I don't want to be an elderly man, that's shuffled out to the balcony at a restaurant to see the canals in Venice. I want to go and do it while I can still, I still have bodily function that works, and I'm halfway decent shape to do it. So travel.
Hang on, Grandpa. You go see the sunset. Out you go. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you see
that's
people
it.
do that, so I get that. They're like, "Hang on, Grandpa. You're going to go see the sunset," and Grandpa don't know if it's sunset, sunrise, or if he's shitty
Sunrise,
snacks, He's
sunset, or anything in between.
And
He's
Michael,
just looking for his soup.
if I can
So-
keep you on topic, Michael, like I'll ask you very quickly, is there something that you haven't achieved yet, which you always set out to do, and stay on topic? Which one is it?
I've got notes. Damn it, I've got notes.
Come on, stay on it. Do it.
No, but like I said, they're talking about
Looks
writing
very
books, and
Billy
I thought
Jack
about this.
there, JP.
Billy Jack. Yeah,
Sorry.
Billy Jack, but no, I think I need to write my memoirs. I really, really do think I need to write my memoirs, and I would like to do it. And it was school. I'm learning to speak more proper, and I'm learning to write more proper, and but yeah, my memoirs, because I have lived a very unique and touched life. And that's like I said, yeah, like I said, that even the question is something as serious or as simple as older women, younger guys, or older guys, younger women. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I have
Do you
tried
need
to
to
live
write
my
your
life.
confessions of a Virginian something, right?
Yeah. Say only the names have been changed to protect the guilty. But I don't even know what I would call it, because I look back of where I came from.
Wow.
And Valerie knows the area. It's very raw, like one sign, now entering, now leaving. And I've seen the world, but I've always seen it on somebody else's timeline. I want to achieve being able to see the world on my timeline. But, I lived in 50 odd years, I've lived a pretty eventful and entertaining life, for people on the outside. And some days it wasn't always good to be me, but everything from you.
I want to read that book, Michael, because I imagine you've got a lot of memories and a lot of stories and a lot of experiences, and Jason, you can relate to that, because I want to bring Jason in quickly. Like Jace, as we say over here, Jace.
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Would you? What's something you set out to do but you haven't done that you'd like to achieve?
Oh, geez.
Is there a long list or a short list?
Short.
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 Stay on topic. Stop it.
Bless her heart, she's surrounded by two ADHD guys.
Well, that's a tough one. Are there things that I would still love to do? Of course, but at the same time, I don't need to do them. That's like the weird thing is like there's a lot in my life that and it's taken me a while to kind of get to the point where I'm like, there's a lot that I've done and I'm pretty satisfied with it. So like, if I never have major, huge adventures again or whatever, I'll be okay with that because I've had them and I can tell about them and things. But I mean, maybe
that your voices that you do, like you could go into like voice acting, or something like that, because you're very good at that.
I have. That's not the first time I've been told that.
You got to you got to.
Hey, you go on America's Got Talent, I'll vote for you 12 times. I'll play
that. Yeah. Just continue to live the best life that I can, really, is the only thing. I mean, get back out, travel a little bit more would be nice.
Travel seems on everyone's list. And Val, what is it I know you've wanted us all to have good health and be. There must be something that you still want to achieve, woman. What is it that you haven't done?
Aside from misplacing several pounds.
Yeah.
They probably make something not too far from you that would help you. Perfect.
Say what now?
What was that?
I said, if you want to lose some weight, I said, there's probably a chemist not too far from you that probably help you out with a chemical compound that would help you lose a lot of weight.
I don't want to lose it that way.
That's what somebody asked me the other day.
I don't know, just make my life and others around me better.
Mm.
That's
it's not something you want to achieve. And now I know this young lady doesn't have a passport. Right. And we had this conversation about you need to get on a plane, woman, and come to Scotland, and England. And we have had this conversation for so long about you need to do this. And I
do. That is one of the things. I need to get a passport because I do want to go to Scotland. Yeah.
And I think that this is
something what she needs to do is get her Etsy store to kick off so she can pay for it.
Absolutely.
I had let my passport go. I
can't make people buy stuff.
Let's your store, Val. Give us the name of the store that you can find on Etsy. What is that?
Well, I don't have an Etsy store. I have a Mercari store.
What's the name?
It's it's Cat Chick. You can look up Cat Chick when you go to Mercari.
So we're going to need a couple of things there, Val. We need to get a website for you.
But I will post it again on my Facebook.
And I do know a man who does really rather nice.
Why? Thank you.
What do you call?
Were you talking about me? Boy, I jumped on that one.
What was it called? Was it like? What do you call it?
See, all you said was "does very nice," and Scotty automatically assumed.
Why? Thank you.
She must be talking about me.
She must be.
I do very nice things.
What was it? What do I call them, Scotty? What you did for the Dark Huntress? What was that?
Graphics, logos.
Yes.
Yeah, graphic design.
I can
Valor has what is it you make? You make the silicone pyramids and the other
epoxy not silicone. It's epoxy.
If you send her the right mold, she will epoxy you anything, ladies.
Yeah.
Talking about clonal Willie right there.
This in a pyramid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she will put the right jewels in it to help you out with your energy and chakra. I guess that would work, right? Hey, stones work.
Realign our chakra. What?
Actually, I want to add a few to mine. I actually think I'd like to make a decision and stick to it because one of my things is indecisiveness. Shall I?
Indecisiveness.
shall I do this? Shall I do that? I want to make a decision and stick to it. And one of them is about my car, because obviously the Dark Huntress is like, do I keep her? Do I go to Canada? Do I, my bestie says to me, no, you're not going. You've got to stay here. And the other half of me is like, yeah, I don't know. So I would like to be more decisive, that's for sure.
But at the end of the day, you got to do what feels right in your heart for you.
That's right.
And other people will be like, oh, but if you leave, we'll miss you so much. But you cannot wait to leave your life on the whims of other people.
But you have to live your life for you, and not just because you might upset somebody else.
It's a big decision. It's a big decision, because I could sell my beastie and then go to Canada, and they could turn around and go, yeah, we're not going to give you the right to stay, and then I'm back here. It's a big decision.
But so, you know what? That's the reason you come to America, because right now they have communist light running Canada, which is Trudeau. Oh, she's not allowed to leave me. Well, hell, pack your bags, Tracy, and go with her. Hell, you always need a battle buddy.
I keep telling her that.
Hey, you know, JP, 1 is none and 2 is 1. You always need a battle buddy, right? That's like the other day when I got caught up. When you couldn't get over me, he said, "Hey, buddy check." Yeah, battle buddy check. And
I was like, where's Michael, Jason? And he was like, am I allowed to say where he is? I'm not sure. I was like, I can always get hold of Michael, but but Tracy's 4 days, our birthdays are 4 days, we're sisters from another mother, 4 days between each other. So she's slightly dinsy-winsy older than me, just by, she's 51, same as me, right? She's a single Pringle too, so she can, I keep trying to corrupt her. She's a 5'7", blonde, blue-eyed, statuesque. I keep wanting to bring her here. We need another Brit, don't we? Really, but
all the men's eyebrows raised.
What?
Are you Brits single?
They are.
You don't have enough blondes, really, can you? Really? Yeah.
No, there's never enough blondes.
But it's been really lovely for me tonight to actually do this show with you guys from New Year's Eve. And as I said, I normally spend it on my own and normally with Henry. So it's given me, it's been brilliant. And Val and I, we really hope that Wicked Women takes off. Oh, look, she's being cheeky now. Wicked Women takes off even more next year.
Bring it on, she said.
Bring it on.
She looks younger.
Just ask her about red bras and she'll tell you a whole new story.
Bravo, Tracy. Bravo for red bras. That's all I have to say. I don't care what context.
I had to go and buy a new one. That's all I'm saying. Just saying. I just had to go and buy a new one.
Why ever?
Well,
yeah.
The red bra was, let's just say there's 2 of them now, so we have the same bra as each other.
What's the fancy underwear store that they have in?
Ann Summers.
Ann Summers, yeah. The naughty store.
Victoria's Secret over there.
Oh, oh shit. Oh no, that's not very British. Oh shot.
Oh shit.
The shot.
No, Ann Summers. If you type in ANN and SUMMERS, you'll see the store that I'm talking about, annsummers.com. And
no, safe for work, by the way.
I stole her bra. It fitted me perfectly. So I had to go out and buy a new one.
Some things you're not supposed to share, you know what I'm saying? Or steal. I have figured out.
I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of what Katie did. So.
Katie, did you say?
What Katie did.
Oh, Katie did. Katie did.
No, what? Space.
Yeah.
Katie space did.
Oh, Katie did not the insect. Katie did.
No.
Or is it Katie did a mammal?
Katie
did's an insect.
Yeah,
Katie did's a green insect.
I think we should do a dating show. I think we should do a dating show for all the single Pringles out there, right? And we should invite them on to see if we can find a date for them. Because, let's just give it a whirl. Why not? So everyone puts their name in the hat, and it doesn't matter how far the distance is. You got to do it, right? I think
Hey,
we be a
right.
good show.
See, and contestant number 1 behind this door is, what do you think? What is your sign? What is your likes? What is your dislikes? What do you think? Girls do. Girls do
Girls do.
what?
We were both Ann Summers reps, and we used to do girls do. So like girls, you call them sex parties, right? But what
Mhm.
do? We would go
I've
to
been to so
girls'
many of those.
parties and show them nice lots of vibrators and underwear and offer them to them and say, would you like to buy this? And look, this one does this and this one does that. It was good fun. Honestly, it was good fun. And then I went to a Canadian sex party and realized the differences between them.
Went
I
to
can
what?
only imagine.
Share bras. Oh yeah, share bras. We share bras. It's true, we do.
I can only imagine a British sex party, as they call it here. You know what I'm saying? Where they break out the toys and the lube
It's
and all this.
dreadful. Women drink all the time, and they get really raucous, and they're like, "Come over here, let's try it. Give us that one. Woo! Look what we've got." I'm telling you, British women are worse. They are.
You're what? You're
We're
what?
worse. We're worse.
Worst.
We're
Worst.
I figured it'd always be very what's the word I'm looking for?
No,
Posh.
no.
Yeah, posh. Be very posh.
We're worse. British
I
women,
say.
we're not. When we've had
That large one over there looks rather interesting.
I think that's when they all break loose and
Scotty, you
let
know
their
that.
hair down.
They all talk like they're the Cockney accents, and they're all just absolutely foul mouthed. Is that where you're
Yes,
going with that?
they'll bring out. You hear a lot of blimies coming out and a lot of
There may be a lot of fuck.
blokes.
Fuck this.
A lot of
Fuck that. Fuck them.
Everybody's a see you next
Or
Tuesday.
be like Mike Mall.
We are posh, but we are also not. But Ann Summers is like, we have a room full of women. They've come to spend their money. You show them lingerie. You show them sex toys. You get to play games. You get to demonstrate the toys, and men are not allowed to come and be any part of it. But you get to see all the good stuff, and it turns out.
As much as I support strong, independent women, and I have to say that again. Well, that's a little sexist. The men might want to see the toy with his.
Yeah, but can't bring them in because otherwise it's like a sex party. So that's why. Women.
So it goes to the swingers, whatever.
Do you got? What do you call them out there, Val? Do you have parties like that in
Swinger parties, Val?
Yeah. When did the swinger party at your house, Val?
Swingers or sex toys?
The sex toys. Do you have sex toy parties?
Yeah, that's what replaced Tupperware, Elderberry.
Hey, you use the Tupperware to put your toys in so you don't smell up the house.
Went from pampered chef to Adam and Eve parties.
I don't have a.
Not that I know of. They may be. Some people may be doing the party, but not that I know of.
I think we should have an international one. So I've got Val on the screen, and then I can hold it up and go, Val, what do you think of this? Right?
Well, we should just all get together because, frankly, even with the economies sucking as much as they do, airfare to England is not that bad.
Right.
I've been looking and hit
round trip airfare.
No, it's
I've
really
been $1,200, right? $1,200.
Oh!
Hey,
We
you know
said
what time
sex
it is?
party. Here comes Ken.
Hey, girls, let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Wendy, I'll ask you first. Wendy, what time is it?
What time is it?
Yeah.
It's 12:46 a.m.
Peanut butter jelly time.
No. It's party time. Get them britches down. That's what time it is.
Yeah, there it is.
It's party time. Party time. Get them britches down. That's what time it is.
Let your hair down.
I'm just saying. Hey, just don't kill the messenger. I'm just saying. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just saying.
But you're right. You should all come to England because it is actually not. I mean, my flight
Don't
to
cancel the
Calgary
messenger.
is 300.
No, don't kill them.
Not bad.
340. Did you say?
That's
349.
cheaper.
349.
I'm looking.
349 quid.
Yeah, return.
So that's like 5 something for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Right now.
That's
Look
what
at
I tell people when I do the international rates. I lose money and going
London
to the
Heathrow.
British pound.
Canada
And the
is
Portland.
much better. You get much more free money.
Is the pound sterling still on actual sterling, or is it a fiat currency, Wendy?
I think it's still on.
No,
on
it's pound and sterling. Yes, it is.
Okay.
yeah. They were smarter than
Go.
us. We got rid of the gold standard like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
No, it's still sterling. Yeah, that's still sterling. So look at us all. Aren't we a little lovely crew here? I actually, we actually could get more of it on there, but there's only 6 tonight, and it's so
And
lovely.
she froze.
So, who did? Who froze?
No, it's JP froze. JP's froze. But when you're talking about holding up something and apparently 4th of January is the cheapest date about tickets. Well, that's good to know. But like when you hold up a cup, you ask Wendy, what do you call that in the UK? Because we would call it a coffee cup because we're more of a coffee culture. It would probably be a teacup for you. And and it's weird how different things
D-cup.
Like you call them panties. You call them panties.
Yeah.
We call them knickers.
Knickers.
We don't call them panties. We call them knickers. Like, where's me knickers? Where's my knickers?
Don't get your knickers in a twist.
Exactly.
Hey, down in the South, they call them bloomers.
Bloomers. Yeah,
Where the
bloomers.
bloomers at?
Granny panties.
I call them
but-
bloomers or drawers.
Scotty could understand that. Where the bloomers?
Again.
Yes. I know Mike would. He understands it. Down in the South, they holler, where the bloomers at? Show me the bloomers.
Yeah. If you're asking where's your knickers at, it's probably been a good night if you have to ask where they are. But it's just simple things
Well,
like trucks.
why in my
And, a
knickers
truck
drawer,
here
of
is a
course.
truck.
Buddy, say that again.
In my knickers drawer, of course.
My knickers
we call
drawer.
it the pants drawer. I mean, I have to say that knickers sounds so much nicer than panties. Every time I hear the word panties, it makes me want to cringe because it's like, have you got your panties on? Have you got your panties on? Have you got your knickers on? What do you think, Val? Which one do you prefer?
Are you going to do this or not?
I mean,
Do this or not? Yeah. That's a
round trip.
I guess I'm so used to saying just panties, drawers.
Panties, drawers.
Panties or drawers.
Well, listen, guys, I'm going to come to the end of Wicked Women because it is now 10-1. I have going to have something to eat and actually just enjoy the rest of my evening. But I have enjoyed sharing this new year with you guys, and thank you so much for being a part of it. Ken, it's so lovely that you came on.
You're so lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Watch him out there. Get your hook. I can get
I'm
your
not
hook.
looking.
Let's do a bit of plugging before we go. When is your KB show? When is it back on?
I will return probably Tuesday morning.
Tuesday
Morning coffee with me. Yeah,
Morning coffee.
Tuesday morning. Yeah, I'll be back.
Morning Coffee with KB will be back on Tuesday. Scotty, are you back tomorrow night?
Maybe. It all depends on what the holiday does. I'll either be back on tomorrow night or it'll be Robertson on Tuesday and then back on Wednesday.
You know it's going to be Robertson Robson, and we have a really good subject.
Can I throw in one quick plug for Ruben Fast Horse?
Yes,
we do have a GoFundMe set up for him, and it's been doing all right. So far, we've taken in about $1,000 for them, and GoFundMe keeps about 3% I think it's spot on 3%. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to paste it into the chat room.
Absolutely.
You can go over there. You can read all about it and read some of the updates. But so that is helping them out. Failed the post. Let me try that again.
And Michael and
There
Jason,
we
thank
go.
you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh,
Michael,
doesn't want to
thank
post.
you so much. Jason, you look cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, in the new year, you're not plugging. We're working on thing for veterans by veterans that I need to get finished up
it,
here.
right?
But with Jason, it has a move coming up, and the smoke pit, and I spoke to him a little bit last night. I'm trying to get all of that set up, and he's telling me to keep it simple, but I want it to be the best that it can be. So that is what I'm looking forward. In the new year, I want to see it grow and get a following, because at the end of the day, if veterans don't look after other veterans, our government is not going to do it. We see how they put veterans last anymore, and
All depends whether it's Scotty
and
or
it really
Shotty.
I think he's implying that I might be hungover tomorrow
Is
night.
he implying that you're going to have a little drink? Just a
It
little one?
depends on even if I go out tonight. It's not even 7 p.m. here, and I'm like,
I want to have a little drink there, Scotty. Oh, yeah.
well, I just might have. We've been invited to go to a friend's party, which is celebrating their wedding reception over at. He owns one of the big facilities here in town, and so it's at their. I'm trying to simplify it. He owns the River's Edge, which is the inner tubing place, and they've got a big nightclub there for catering and all that, and so it's all being held there tonight. And Rainy's not been well for the last few days, so she may not go at all. So I might head over and celebrate the midnights with them and stuff like that. We'll see how I feel.
Oh, I'm going to take you boys out because I want to leave a final word to the ladies. But thank you so much for joining us tonight.
right.
Michael, you look absolutely gorgeous. Have a very happy new year to you.
How'd that happen?
All right.
Jason, I'm leaving you to your ironing. Have a very happy new year and enjoy.
I'm working on a brim.
See you later. Ken, I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a happy new year, lovely.
I need to bring Jason into my household to do my ironing for me.
Me too. Scotty, have a wonderful night. I will see you.
You too, my lovely.
Love you.
Good to see you. Love you back.
Love you back. So, Val, one thing we do want to do, and I just want to say, yes, we do. We love Keith. Keith is brilliant. We love you.
Absolutely. Yes.
But he's so good at articulating things, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
And Val, we are outnumbered sometimes with the men, which is wonderful. But we, it's not the fact that we don't want to bring other women on, but it's like, it's.
I mean, I think I may try to get my girls to start coming on some. And that way, we'll have a different age range.
For sure. Absolutely.
So
there's loads of things we want to tackle as well, isn't it? There's loads of things we want to tackle.
Absolutely.
We have to do this so they can appreciate how fabulous we look tonight. Look, show it again. Look, the red dress.
I have to sit on. I'll have to sit on it.
You look amazing, woman. Amazing.
There we go.
This woman has, Val, you've supported me and you always were a big support for Wicked Women. And we would love to see more women come to us and say, can you do this? Would you do this on the show? We have a list and we try to get around them. And because we've been unwell and because we've not been able to always do things, that's why we've got behind with a lot of stuff. So, I mean, is there any other topics that you want to tackle, Val, that we haven't as yet?
Well, I mean, I think honestly, I may start going and just asking around.
Yeah.
People that maybe have never seen our show or, anything like that. I definitely want to talk about more women's issues.
Yeah.
Because I really do feel like in certain things we are trying to get pushed out,
Yes.
and we are getting pushed out.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it deserves to be talked about, how we feel anyway.
Yeah, because it's so. I was talking to a friend of mine tonight, and he actually made a comment on a, believe it or not, a Doctor Who site about things being woke. If you're not woke, or if you're over woke, and he said he got
Right.
so much abuse from people. It's gone kind of crazy. It really has.
It really has, and you can support people that you don't necessarily agree with. You can still support people and agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you have to admit they are what they say they are, because just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. I could say I weigh 110 pounds, but it ain't true. And anybody else can see it, but even in my mind, I could still tell myself that enough until I believe it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't make it true.
I think also as well that women have had to fight so hard to get the vote, to have equal pay, to be seen as a force in the workplace.
Right.
That I think now we're losing a lot of our rights, because it's like, well, as you say, with the ladies' toilet or the dressing rooms, or to be called, is it birth? What do they call us?
Birthing persons.
Yes. Which I find a bloody insult, I have to say. I've got to say.
And I said I'm all for anybody, adults, living the way you want to. And I will support
100%.
to a degree.
100%.
I'll support. But when it comes down to, how feminists, it seems like they speak out about, well, trans people have rights too. I mean, can their mind not see that if you're a feminist and you don't like the way men are treating you, they're men, but you allow it because they look like you.
And we also feel like we're losing a lot of our. I mean, I was talking to some friends about men. I like a man to be a man and a woman to be a woman, and that doesn't mean I'm trying to be offensive with anybody else or anything else. It's just the fact, the good old days when a man was a man and a woman was a woman. You kind of knew there are only two. Well, when they find us buried in the ground, they'll find out we're either man or woman, because our DNA will be there, of course.
Right.
So I think that there is a very much a line that you're frightened to say too much, or if you do say too much, oh God, no, I'm going to get whipped for it. And that's what's happening. Even with the television, like everything you look at on TV, it's all woke.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to just enjoying something? And there's got to be a character now. There's got to be a character, and they've got to be, the Christmas adverts that came on, before Christmas. You got to have, your typical family, like one white person, one black person, or perhaps, two gay guys or whatever. And it's just like, I know that's life, and I know that's every day, but it's like, I do think women we are getting pushed further back, and I think that's something that we do need to hang on.
Well, I think me personally, it comes down to, I will respect you, whatever you want to be, but when you start trying to force me to believe the same way you do, or force me to accept something that I don't believe in, that's where we kind of butt heads.
Yeah.
It's almost like me trying to force them to believe the way I believe. That they would never, that would never fly. But the other way around is okay. You
I
know
think
what I
that-
mean? As long as people don't try to force
Yep.
something down my throat, you can live the way you want to, and I'll have no problem with you.
I think I find it a little bit offensive when you see like these some, and I'm not saying all, but there are some characters out there, and you'll see them promoting tampons and saying, "Oh, I've got period pain," and "Oh, it's my period." You will never
no, you
know.
don't. No, you
You'll
don't.
never know what it's like to have a period, and you'll
If-
never know
if-
what it's like to have the
If
pain.
they actually, if the ones that are on TikTok and things doing that,
Yeah.
if one actually hit them, they would say the minute it hit them, they would, no, I'm not a woman no more,
Mm.
because it's not laugh on TikTok. Oh, my belly hurts. It's
No.
not like that.
Not like that at all. And like giving birth as well is completely different story. So I think that we must keep that line. We
Yeah.
are not birth. What do you call it? Birth what?
Birthing persons.
No.
No.
So that is to show that we will, and I will reach out to see if I can get that lovely lady to come on. And also we wanted to do one about the witchcraft, because so many people have been asking us about witches and white magic and witchcraft. So I actually did a promo, which I never played. Let me just see if I can bring it up. I never played for Halloween, and just for a bit of fun, I think I'll bring it up, and it'll just play. This is what we might look into. Let's see. And that's something that's quite personal for both yourself and me, because, being a white witch and also absolutely loving anything. Women as witches are portrayed in media a set way. There was a lot of women there that have been portrayed, the Wicked Witch of the West, the Hocus Pocus, Charmed. Sometimes we get a really good press, sometimes we don't, and women have been persecuted for so many years as being witches and for casting spells, and how many women were sent to the burn at the stake or hung or drowned. So that is a show that I think I'd like to literally come and do in 2024, because I think
absolutely.
So we've got a few there we want to do, and it's always a pleasure with you, my friend. I always look forward to Sunday and a bit of Val.
Absolutely. Same to you.
You look gorgeous, and I hope you have a really happy New Year's Eve night, whatever you do. Have a ball, and thank you for sharing mine.
I appreciate celebrating with you. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, soon we can meet in person, and
me too. Me too.
That's definitely on my goals.
But
for
you need to get a
2024.
passport, woman. Passport.
I will.
So anyway, thank you to everyone that's been a part of our show.
Absolutely.
We've had an absolute ball, to Jason, to Michael, to Scotty, to Ken, to Keith, who is always part of the Wickeds. And we ask you ladies to come and join us.
Yes.
Come and check us out. And Wicked Women 888 on YouTube. You'll also find us on Facebook and Instagram under Wicked Women 888. Come and join the team.
And if you do have any suggestions, you can message either one of us. It'd be
absolutely. And Val, I hope to see your show back soon as well. I've missed it.
I'm working on that. After Mama gets kind of, she'll have to go every day for I think 7 weeks.
Right.
5 days a week for 7 weeks for her radiation. But I'm hoping that between that and hopefully nothing else will explode here.
It was a brilliant show. Saturday night, Facebook, Val. You were a star. And I used to log in and watch it next morning if I couldn't watch it the night. So we do Ken, Scotty, Val, staple diet there.
So I'm trying to figure that out. And I'm kind of gathering up some shows to do and doing some research for when I do come back. So I will come back. I'm just not sure exactly when.
Well, whenever it is, but we will be here next Sunday, guys. Come and join Wicked Women. We will be here 10 o'clock UK time. Let me get this right. 3 o'clock Mountain, 4 o'clock CT, and 5 o'clock Eastern. I think I did it. Wow. It's only taken me 13 episodes. And yes, Val and I will see you next week. In the meantime, everyone have a very, very happy new year. And
absolutely.
Everything you want. Val, I love you.
I love you too. Thank you, guys.